folks. We are live. It is eSTOL. It's that time again of the month, that time of the year. We're so excited. We've got everything ready for you right now. You can see the helicopter right now. We've got myself. I'm Cam Walton, and I'm joined by Mr. Tom Wolf, one of
Hi,
the owners
everybody.
of National Stole. What's going on, Tom? How are you doing?
Oh, it's good. It's a great day for eSTOL. We're out here at Music City Executive Airport in Gallatin, Tennessee. It's going to be a fantastic day. The weather's fantastic and overall pretty good. It's VFR across the whole southeast today. There's really no bad day to fly.
Yeah, that's right. The winds here at Kilo X-ray November X-ray. If you're looking at your sectional, we've got very variable winds at 7 knots. Uh, awesome day, 50% humidity. Density altitude is 2,683 feet. So not quite sea level, but I mean we're still going to have great performance today.
I think we're only about 686 feet, so it's not very high for above sea level. And that wind's going to be challenging today because it's 7 to 16 knots variable. So some guy may get a nice headwind, the next person may get a nice tailwind. You know, it didn't really trying to challenge them, make them work harder for it.
Yeah, that sounds perfect. I think all of our competitors are going to be really looking forward to that, but hopefully all of them are getting that headwind.
That's what I'm
All right,
hoping for. And this
eSTOL.
data, of course, we use is only about 30 minutes old right now, so it could be a little late this time. And hopefully we get some updated winds that kind of blow out of the south or out of the north in one direction. We'll get some strong headwinds for everybody.
Absolutely. So, Tom, we were at Music City Executive last week. Did you have any highlights that you wanted to talk about from last week's competition in real life?
Well, first off, it's an amazing airport. The people are so friendly. If you're in the Tennessee, Nashville area, go out and see them. Everyone wants to talk about aviation and STOL in general, and they really have they're really great hosts for us. We had some really challenging competition there. Pat McIntyre, Jared Garrettson, both of the Badlands Traveler at 129, 139 feet respectively. Dan Reynolds and the Chinook took home the victory, I think, at 106 feet. And, the one thing that was really kind of questionable about that was Mike Babcock, right? And Mike Babcock, in his Badlands Traveler, came out to compete and pulled up the line, and his engine wouldn't do it. Wouldn't, by power, couldn't go. So he scratched. And that was one to watch because we thought he was going to beat Dan for the overall distance.
Yeah, super exciting. It was really nice of Dan to give him kudos at the award ceremony when we were doing awards because everyone was ready to see that guy perform. And practice day, he was really on top of his game. So hopefully at finals here in a couple of weeks, we'll see Mike Babcock do his thing. All right, so now we're going to introduce what is STOL. We're here to do some STOL flying, some short takeoff and landing, but what is that? So let's go to the what is STOL video.
Takeoff and landing competitions are simple. We have the pilots here competing in separate classes to get the lowest score possible. As you see behind me, we have the start-finish line, so let's start with the takeoff.
This runway is marked with a start-finish line, and as a competitor parks their main gear on the line, they apply power and position their aircraft to get off the ground as soon as possible. Once their main gear leaves the ground, a line judge will mark their takeoff score using the measuring line along the side. This score will be added to the pilot's landing score on this heat. The landing is in two parts. It's either over the line and counted, or if the pilot's main gear touches down before the line, or even touches the line, this heat score is scratched and results on a landing disqualification, and the pilot will have to rely on another takeoff and landing score to get them on the podium. A quick look at our aircraft shows we have two types of landing gear: tricycle and tail draggers. On the tail dragger aircraft, the score is marked from the two main wheels toward the front of the airplane. And for tricycle landing gear, the score is marked by the two main gear in the rear of the aircraft. It's a fierce competition out here, but at the end of the day, it's all about building better and safer pilots in the skies.
It's a great day for STOL competitions. Let's get it started.
Oh, all right. So yeah, so that is what Stole is, what we're doing today. Tom, man, I don't know what I'm excited for the most, but I just know that I'm excited.
I'm excited. We have a really stacked class. All of our classes there are going to be awesome. Between the touring, the backcountry, and the unlimited classes, it's going to be fantastic. And we have a lot of competitors here that want to really show off.
Yeah, I agree. There's a lot of stuff happening. And so
You want to go ahead and
today,
kick it off to the touring class?
yeah, yeah, we can totally do that. Let's start with the touring class. We've got our Wilgus, I think, in line, if I'm not
The Wilga
mistaken.
train.
Yeah. Our one of our favorite aircraft for sure. I mean, it's super unique for the Wilgas,
Now,
but looks like we've got our DC-3 happening here in just a moment.
just like last week, we have a DC-3 taking off. We had the Spirit of Detroit there last week with us, and the Spirit of Detroit was giving rides to anyone in the crowd that wanted to buy a ticket on board, and they got a membership for the year for the Spirit of Detroit, and they you fly around for about a half hour or so, and they take you around the area. You get up and walk around the cabin. You can look in the cockpit while they're flying around the area, and then you come back and you land. And I can't say, Cam, it's probably the most graceful landing that I've ever experienced. It's a lot more smooth than the 737 or anything else like that with the airlines.
Yeah. Absolutely. I didn't get a chance to ride this past weekend, but I did get a chance to ride with them a couple years back, and it was exactly like you said. It's super graceful, and the takeoffs are even more fun. All right, and
You can
here's
really
our
barely tell you
touring
left the
lineup.
ground.
Yeah, yeah, seriously. The tail comes up, and then all of a sudden you're airborne. All right, and then we've got our touring lineup. We've got race number 123, Mark Hawkins. These are all Wilkes, so we won't. Well, actually, one of them is a Mall, and the other one is a Beaver. But in the Wilga ADP, Mark Hawkins, race number 123 from Plymouth, UK. We've got race number 97, Tom Smith in the Wilga ADP from Pennsylvania. 942 Brown Dog. Got to meet him last weekend in the Wilga ADP from Southeast Kentucky. Number 92 Frozen Alaskan in another Wilga ADP from Alaska. Number 94 Victor Vosser in a Mall M7 from Poland. I'm not going to try the city because I forgot how to say it. And race number 39 Cedric P in the Beaver from Lubeck, Germany.
Excellent. I'm glad we have a Beaver showing up. We had a Beaver at Lone Star Stole last year, and it came out. I think it was Jennings this year as well, right? And I think that was right.
Yep.
And then he's gonna. I hope he comes back. Chip Ferguson comes back. This month at the end of the year for Lone Star again. That thing is amazing to watch fly.
Thing is absolutely amazing, and it sounds amazing. My favorite part of it though is when it's taxiing and it's doing the little jig, the little dance. Like that is absolutely hilarious to see. But then he rips it off the ground in about 300 feet, and then all of that goes out the window, man. It's so cool.
The good news is we got my second favorite airplane here, the Wilga. Just pulling up to the line now. It's I believe this is Mark Hawkins. Is that right?
Yep, it's gonna be Mark Hawkins, race number 123 from Plymouth, UK. It's always got really cool liveries on his aircraft, especially with that Ferrari livery, Ferrari eSTOL livery, if you will.
Yeah, Mark's always rocking that Ferrari livery. It makes me remember like Formula One. It just looks so similar. It's very iconic.
Yeah, man, Formula One's so cool. These airplanes are cool. Formula One's cool. I want to say these airplanes are a lot more cool than Formula One, but um, I mean, because airplanes trump cars all day. It doesn't matter if you're driving Formula One or a ZL1 or whatever. My champ's better. So
Well, they're gonna get mad at me for this, but you're driving around a car and you're not, you're on a track. You're not going up and down. These guys have to go up and down and side to side. So they're doing all the above.
Yeah, everyone who's in the cockpit today has to deal with that 3D space. It's not just the left and right and maybe the occasional hill. Like you're thinking about everything and the winds. Um, so I mean, like that's always exciting, and the joys of being a pilot, having to deal in that 3D space. Next up, we have Tom Smith, number 97, and his iconic livery with the skull and crossbones on the tail. Smitty also
Always a
is
joy to
rocking that
watch
full
Smitty.
rig. Yeah, right, right. Especially watching him at home, right? Because he's got the full rig.
I met
But
Smitty in FS Expo last year, and it was, he's a great guy in person. Watching him in his rig do his magic, and he has a full motion rig at home, so he's in his full motion simulator, in eSTOL. You can see there on screen, and he's bouncing along as he moves across the grass there, and you'll see that as he applies his throttle here in a second.
yeah, what's super funny about Smitty is, I guess, what was it? Maybe 3 or 4 competitions ago, he had that hole behind him on the wall. And we're like, Where'd that hole come from?" You'll be able to see here in a few moments where that hole might have come from. It looks like it's been patched. It looks like it's been patched since then. Next up, Brown Dog from Southeast Kentucky. We also met him at last week's competition at the In Real Life edition of National Stole at Music City for Music City Stole.
I love that color scheme on this airplane. The American flag tail is amazing. The dark gray looks absolutely fantastic. I really need to do something like this on my airplane at home.
Yeah. Oh man, having the Comanche in some dark gray with the old stars and bars on the tail would be pretty amazing.
Look at that too. He goes back to work under the flap there. Mike
Oh
Patey's
yeah.
iconic saying.
Yep.
Someone's a Mike Patey fan.
Someone is for sure. I love those flap cowlings or the cowling flaps as well with the
Yep.
American flag on them. Shout outs to Mrs. Brown Dog. She is watching in the other room if I understand how they work during competitions correctly.
I believe she takes the scores for him at every time, right? Is that right? And she records the
Yeah,
scores what he does.
on pen and paper in another room
Yes.
for sure. Because she said that she can't be in the same room because of all the excitement, and he's a sterile cockpit kind of guy.
Well, this is Frozen Alaska number 92 from Alaska. This is his Wilga ADP. And as it says on the
Yep.
flaps, fly good, don't suck.
Yeah, the saying of the late and great Rob Holland. All of his merchandise, the Fly Good merchandise.
Yep. We had a great tribute for Rob Holland this year at Oshkosh. But, this Wilga, more of a classic, the black. I think it has an American Eagle on the tail, if I remember correctly. But also, a really cool livery for this airplane.
Yeah, can't get over some bald eagle action.
Very
Looking
patriotic
at the flag.
class.
Yes, absolutely. The last frontier, if you will, of America, for sure.
Do we have our Maul and our Beaver coming out?
I think so. There's our Maul.
Here's our Maul.
Victor Vasser. He is from
Victor
Poland,
Vasser
if you
from
can't
Poland.
tell.
Yep.
Yep.
Got the red and white
Got-
tail as like their flag. It's number 94.
Yeah. Don't
I like
get
the
that
green.
confused with the Indonesian flag. It's also the same colors. I think it's flipped for the Indonesian flag. But yeah, that green
like the
is
green.
something else.
Oh, cool! He actually has like a knight coming out of the tail as well. That's really cool.
Yeah, kind of like that rip fade away kind of deal with the knight leading the way with the Polish flag.
Victor's been on our circuit for the past, I think, 2 years almost right from the beginning, and he's been a great competitor from the beginning.
Yeah, he takes no stuff. He is one to look out for, especially when he's up against all of these Wilgas. And then next up, Cedric P in the de Havilland Beaver, which happens to be my girlfriend's favorite airplane, especially the ones that are on floats.
I love beavers, and this one especially. It's really kind of retro colors with the orange and green, but it looks great. Almost actually like the Brondo airplane that we see occasionally. Um, but it's a great airplane, and if you have flight simulator as yourself, you can go fly this airplane right now. It's in the sim, I believe.
Yeah, we got the we got the Brondo flaps going on right now.
That's right. He took his
And
Brondo
he's
plane and put on a different different airplane there.
yeah, and let's see. He messaged me and told me about those about what it says on the flaps. But because I am such a noob with Discord, I am not doing well navigating to what he was saying. He says that it
Important.
is the German version of the Brondo slogan and means Brondo has what plants crave. It has electrolytes.
What's interesting about Cedric is he actually makes the liveries for half of the field, half the competitors. So you'll see a lot of Cedric's liveries today on different airplanes. And he's also making the eSTOL tool, which is what we use to measure our scores. So as people take off and as they land, we get an automatic score. So there's really no cheating. It's automatically reported back to us. We put that back in the spreadsheet and give you guys that score on screen.
That's awesome.
Really, he's really passionate for eSTOL and really wants to show us how he can help. And he's a great programmer. I'm really impressed by him.
Yeah, we got to get him to do some stuff for the in real life competitions. Figure out some like
There you go.
radio like measurement technology. Here we go, green flag.
Green flag. Here we go. This is Mark Hawkins, number 123 in the Woga. What can he do? On the takeoff roll
All
there.
right. Yeah, it looks like a sub
Just a little under
200 foot
halfway.
takeoff.
Yeah, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, looks really good. Get that number in just a moment. Our lovely cat giving us the scores, 151 feet.
So here's number 97, Tom Smith in his Woga. Gonna try to beat 151 feet. See if he can do it.
Yeah, a little variance in takeoff technique compared to Mark Hawkins. He brought the tail up. There's Smitty and his rig at home.
They say bringing the tail up actually acts like a fulcrum, changing your center of gravity a little bit. At least it feels like you are, and then it kind of bounces you off the ground. His takeoff is 123 feet, so he's in the lead right now over Mark Hawkins.
Yeah, I tend to believe what they say about that, especially if you can get the aircraft level and get some more speed over the wings. Ooh.
Wow, that is
Oh,
short. Brown
what?
Dog got off the mains off the ground and rode on the tail for like a solid 40 feet there. And that's fine, because once the mains
Wow.
are off the ground, that's how we measure, right?
Yeah, that's absolutely all that matters. So I'm excited to see what that number is going to be because Tom Smith threw it down for 123. What is this going to be for Brown Dog? It's like Frozen
It'll take a minute
Alaskan
for Brown Dog's
is.
scores to come in.
Yep.
Frozen Alaska must have saw Brown Dog and did the same technique there, lifting the mains off the ground before and just rolling on his tail wheel.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's like aileron assisted takeoff. You know, uh, initiating the ailerons to put some wind under or to initiate some lift under the wings. Like, I don't know if
Yep,
that's something like because if one wing is flying, then both wings are probably flying.
that's true. And they're using a lot of rudder because they don't have a lot of aileron control at that point. Here's the
Yep.
Maul taking off, number 94, Victor. He's going to be a little bit longer than the last two Wilgas, and he settles back down there,
Yeah.
but he's staying off the ground. That's important. Waiting for the scores to come in now.
Yeah, and it's looking like these guys are working with a crosswind. We got Victor on the on some crab action as he's on the departure leg of his takeoff. So that was
Brown dogs was
77 feet for Brown Dog.
Isn't that crazy? Here's the beaver. He is bigger. He is heavier. He's going to be a little bit longer. Looks about 250 feet or so, maybe 200 feet. Good solid takeoff for the first time for him. And that's the biggest airplane out here for sure.
Yeah, 200 feet is no joke, especially for that heavy workhorse of an airplane. So Victor Vosser is going to be 95 feet on his takeoff.
We're waiting for a score from Frozen Alaska. The tool didn't pick up the score, so we're working for our judges to get a score there. This is Mark Hawkins coming down to land here.
I think Mark actually already landed.
Mark already landed, yep.
That. So we got Smitty on final slow, nose high. Don't scratch, don't scratch. All right, good across.
That's good over the line. Real nose high attitude there, which looked great, and it came right across the line by about 5-6 feet, and good short stop there. Mark Hawkins had a score of 280 feet total. Smitty at 236 feet, and a landing distance of 113 feet tall. That's pretty incredible.
That is absolutely fantastic.
And soft too. He's only 3/4 of a G-force, so not very much. Very smooth. I could do that. It'd be about 5 Gs though. A carrier landing.
Yeah, right. Ooh, another smooth landing right across the line. Brown
Very
Dog
smooth
this time.
Looks like he's getting a little bit of right
Frozen,
crosswind.
is your tool on?
Maybe about 20 degrees right crosswind.
Yeah, they're just floating in, crabbing into the wind.
Okay.
That nose high attitude is definitely helping them out for sure. Keep the nose high, keep that power in. And slowly
He's just hovering
take it
there.
out as you get closer to the line. Yeah, right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Just a little
So there's
bit
two
over
schools of thought for that
120 feet.
crosswind. Yeah,
Yep.
one is that crab like they're doing there.
It's not.
The other one's you dip the
score
wing.
Frozen. Have you refreshed it?
Oh, that was a good one by Victor. He almost came up on his nose, but this means he applied the right amount of braking there. That's what we want to see.
Right. Yep, right amount of braking, maybe a little power to put some wind over the tail to keep that nose from going over.
You do want to see them use their brakes appropriately, so you want them to come up on the nose a little bit. That means they're using the max possible braking they can. When they do that, they pull the stick full back, which keeps the tail down. Just over the line there by Cedric, number 39, and the big beaver. And he's going to stop about the 200-foot mark, I believe. Just about a little more halfway, or under halfway. It's like 210 feet for him.
All right.
Dan,
so
what do you
looks like
think?
we got a little shakeup. Man, I honestly think that the Wilga should be the best performer here, but it looks like we've got scores coming in. At first, Victor Vosser was in first place. Now he's in second place. Brown Dog in first place. So yeah, the Wilgas are doing their Wilga thing, throwing down the short numbers, but Victor's not too far away with 190 feet combined total compared to Brown Dog for 162 feet. So if there's something that Victor can do to shorten takeoff, maybe I think he's going to be a good contender for the winning running, or the running winner, if you will.
I agree with that. And, Frozen's scores aren't coming in yet, so we're still working on those. But Brown Dog laid down some excellent scores there. I was really impressed. And, of course, Victor in the smaller mall should have a slight advantage because he has less power than these guys do, too. Here goes Mark on the second run. A little bit longer than the first one. And looks like he didn't get as much wind there.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it's still holding true to being variable. EFB is saying winds are out of the 210 at 9 knots, gusting 17 knots. And it's also variable between 180 degrees and 250 degrees. So, I mean, there's a lot happening with the wind right now.
Second run there of Mark Hawkins. Decent takeoff that time. Not quite as slow as the first one. I think you'll see a little bit longer, closer to 180. I believe so. Sorry, that's Thomas Smith in that time. I think it'll be a little bit longer that time. We'll see how the scores come in as.
Yeah, 111 for Tom Smith. So his shortest takeoff yet. This is just the second round. We've got 3 rounds, but you put one
That was
on,
short again.
that'd be great. Oh yeah.
Brown Dog just laid down a good one there. That's
Okay,
70,
yeah.
80 feet out of my eyes.
Looks like he's been taking some notes from some real STOL pilots out there using that aileron technique to lift off the ground.
I think he went and talked to Dan Reynolds last week. I said, how do I do better? He's flying that thing like a Chinook.
He really is.
Here we go, Frozen Alaska, just over 60 feet there as he crossed the line, or 100 feet rather, as he crossed the line. See what he got there. We are running scoring issues with Frozen Alaska. I think they're working on that right now. But look a little bit more than 100 feet there on that takeoff.
It looks
Quite
like we got a
impressive
number in for him, 111 feet on that
Excellent.
run for him.
Here comes Victor Wasser in the mall. The green machine. On the takeoff roll, here he
Yeah.
goes.
He's lined up on the left side of the runway so he can take advantage of that right crosswind. Ooh.
Right on the edge of flying there. You can see as he started kind of wobbling. The more wobbly you
Yeah.
are, the less, closer you are to that stall speed. That's totally
But I love
normal.
that-
You just got to control it.
Oh yeah, and I love his rudder corrections because I mean he's absolutely flying the heck out of that airplane.
I got to jump in the chat,
Right.
Cam. We have people chatting with us on YouTube.
Ooh, yes.
Here's Cedric taking off in his Beaver. Looked like about 240 feet, maybe. So I guess we'll see. A little bit longer than last time, I think. The last time I said it was longer, it actually wasn't longer. So I'm not really sure there. Thank you, Shaderoo, for the $10. As he says, good luck, everyone. Try not to crash. Brown Dog comes over the line now. And we just missed Brown Dog's landing there. And Brown Dog stopped there about 100 feet or so. Looked good over the line. I was watching the line camera. Sorry, not Brown Dog. I said Mark Hawkins. Baracus.
All right.
Tom Smith up next. Short final. Kind of floating it like a kite. That was close. He was 6 feet past the line when he touched down.
Let's see what's that number looking like for him. Yeah, so all of our landings are getting shorter and shorter. We got 94 feet, 97 feet. Seeing what Brown Dog's going to do for us. Ooh.
That was right over the line.
Yeah.
Over the line and good. He stops the engine. Gotta get rid of all that extra thrust. And he fires it back up. Just under about 80 feet or so, I think.
It's very interesting. I can't say that I've seen that. It might have happened in the last competition, but I can't say that I've seen that in eSTOL competition this year. The shutting down the engine, kind of like the Hal Stockman special.
crabbing there. Frozen Alaska bouncing just past the 150 or so.
Yeah, he probably gave up about 25 to 30 feet on his landing.
That bounce will kill you. You gotta. That's what These guys run big tires because they want to absorb the bounce, right? They also they run the big tires around 6 to 8 psi, very low psi's, and what that does is it lets you bounce and stick. And the whole idea is that you get down and stop, and you hit those brakes as hard as you can. Here comes Victor Wasser in his Maul M7, short final, ballooning a little bit, dives for the line, touches down, hits the brakes, and stops about 80 feet. And Cedric's going to go around on this one since Victor Wasser's on the runway there. Victor touched down 9 feet past the line. We are getting Frozen Alaska scores now, so that's good news.
Yeah, scores are always good for sure. And that beaver.
So Cam, one of the things we do. One of the things we do, Cam, is we always measure the G-force effect when they touch the ground and their vertical speed. Because one thing we want to make sure we do is we want to make sure we track who's touching down too heavy and would break the gear essentially. We don't want someone to just come lawn darted in, right? Like Dan Reynolds is known for the lawn dart.
Yeah,
exactly. So you can't lawn dart it in because we know what you're touching down at. We know what would potentially break the gear, and so you can't just like slam it down to the runway. Now, it may be pretty hard, maybe pretty rough, but you're actually not going to break the gear. Here's Cedric P. and his beaver.
As we like to say for the in real life competitions, these landings aren't for comfort, but there is that breaking point.
Short final from Cedric here. Smooth.
Ooh.
Pretty predictable there. Bounce.
Yeah.
He's on the small wheels, so that's going to make it a little bit harder for him. Stops just past the, I think, about the 200 or so. Could be his shortest one yet, though. He taxis back.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
199.
Shortest one. Yep. So his combined total is 350.
Brown Dog still your leader. You'll see him take off in a few seconds here. Mark Hawkins, 123. He's fighting for first place on this final run, the final lap of the touring class. This is Mark's chance to really lay down some good scores here. He needs to make about 100 feet up on his shortest distance here in order to beat Brown Dog. What do you want to see from him, Cam? What do you want to see differently him do?
I kind of want to see him do the Brown Dog's technique and see what Mark is capable of with using that aileron first kind of technique. See if that helps him out.
I think we would see full power, push the nose forward, pull the stick back, roll on that tail wheel, and get off the ground and use ailerons. But I don't think we're gonna see that. Not quite as aggressive there.
Oh.
He pulled a couple seconds too late. You can always tell when they're late because they pull off, pull back on the stick and they just immediately start flying.
Yeah, they just straight rip off the ground.
It was his shortest takeoff yet, though, so that's good news. Sorry, I didn't take your line.
No, you're fine. And he did introduce a little bit of that aileron technique in there. You could see him lift up the right wing first. So he's trying.
Here's Tom Smith. Nose up or nose down, back of there. There it goes. That's a pretty good pull that time. I think he's gonna be pretty happy with that one. Smitty needs to make up about 50 feet to make up a Brown Dog there. But only about 20 feet to beat Victor. So I think he's gonna be very, very happy with that one.
I think
Here's your current leader.
Really happy with that.
Brown Dog 942 on the line. You can tell he had full power because he started rolling there, and then he just immediately pulls back and goes for it. Starts flying. That's gonna be really short and very consistent too.
Very consistent. That talk with Dan definitely helped him out.
You know what's cool about these Wogas? They have so much power. They're all climbing at 1,500 feet per minute or more. As you know, I get off the ground and I gain all that airspeed before I start climbing again. They just immediately start climbing. Here's Frozen Alaska, number 92.
Hold the brakes, pull the tail up, and he's
Oh,
going to do that thing technique. Ooh,
that left
almost
main
settled
drug.
back down. Yeah.
That left main's going to hurt him, I think. Now I saw Victor pull off. I'm not sure where Victor went. Victor Wasser nosed over, so he's out. Here's our Beaver, Cedric. That's a short takeoff for him. Probably right around the 150 mark. So Victor Wasser today, the best he can do is second. If nobody passes him. Okay, and we treat this eSTOL just like real life. So if you nose over, if you put one in the dirt, you prop in the dirt, or you crash, or you lose an engine, we treat it like you're out. We don't want people to just crash every time, right?
Right. I mean, it's got to be. We're mimicking the real life competitions as much as possible. We even have the actual weather for Gallatin right now. If you're standing on the field at Gallatin right now, you're feeling the exact same weather that these pilots are feeling in the game. So everything's true.
Just in from our scoring, Brown Dog's takeoff was 64 feet. That is insane.
Oh man,
that was his shortest by 15 feet. Here's Mark Hawkins, just over the 120 feet there on touchdown.
It's not every day that the touring class is producing like unlimited and sport numbers, in the real life competition. So to see those sub 100 numbers come from Brown Dog and from Victor, it's just completely insane.
That wind's definitely helping him today, I think.
Yes.
At least for now, until it shifts. Tom Smith.
Ooh, nice over the line.
You have about 10 feet or so, 95-foot stop. That's good number for him.
Yep.
Very consistent the second round there. So he'll move up a little bit. Here's our current leader, Brown Dog 942, with his 64-foot takeoff in this round. He's gonna move up if he can stick the landing here.
Ooh,
right on the edge of a stall.
I mean, right there, that left wing dropped heavily as he crossed the line.
And he stops the engine again. I don't know if that's like, I'm gonna say it's skill. Like he just knows if he starts the engine off, he can just do it. But for me, it'd be like panic. Like I need to kill the engine, so I just reach over and kill all my levers at once, right? But I think he's doing it on purpose.
Yeah, race control.
We heard from our
with us that.
Yeah, Brown Dog believes he gets a little less thrust if he shuts the engine off, which is something that's true, right? Not much, but
It
it's
is
something.
true. I mean,
Frozen
if you're at
Alaska
low
number
power
92.
and you're windmilling, like you're still producing forward thrust.
Absolutely.
Good across the line.
It's solid.
A little bit over 100 foot on that landing for Frozen Alaska. 109 feet.
These guys are all doing better than I could do, that's for sure.
Yeah, seriously. That's
Here's Cedric and his
from
Beaver.
me.
The size of a small, I'd say large truck.
Yeah.
And he's going to touch down
Probably
just around the
haul.
220 mark.
Yeah, absolutely. Gave up about, man, it looked like he gave out at least 50 feet for sure. All right, we got our DC-3 back there. might have a nice little flyover from our DC-3.
I think the DC-3 is gonna come in and land here. We're gonna watch him touch down real gently. Won't be landing on our grass though, that's for sure.
Would be awesome though. But
Have you flown this in the sim, Cam?
no, I haven't flown the DC-3 yet.
They added it, I think, about a year ago, I think, to 2020, and it just flies great. It's such a nice, smooth airframe. You can't really. It's not depicting his wheels are there.
Yeah. I was about to say, Gumps.
Sometimes the range we're looking at these airplanes, it doesn't always depict the fine details, so they get closer. But that was right on center line too. I'm impressed.
I'm really impressed. You can go on YouTube and look at any aviation videos, especially of your favorites, and a lot of them don't even land on the center line.
You're a tailwheel pilot, Cam. Have you ever got the desire to go fly DC-3?
I have. I mean, like, it's expensive. A
Oh,
check
yeah,
ride
it's
in
really
a
expensive.
DC-3 or, yeah, but man, you know, like if you ever get the chance, like you should. If I ever get the chance, I'm definitely going to take it. How about yourself?
100%.
Have you done? Oh yeah.
The only time I was on DC-3 was in the back when I was riding on Spirit of Detroit a year ago. Ryan Dombrowski was so generous, and he said, "Hey Tom, go for a ride with me." So I went and hopped in the ride with him in the DC-3, and I was like grinning ear to ear the whole time and absolutely loving it. It's fantastic.
Yeah. All right, so your touring class, first place, Brown Dog with combined total of 128. Victor Vosser with combined total of 195. Second place. Third place, Tom Smith with 195. Fourth place, Frozen Laskin, 249. Fifth place, Mark Hawkins, 257. And to round out the end of the class, in sixth place, Cedric P, with a score of 333.
Awesome. That was an impressive heat. I mean, honestly, they did more than I could do in any. If I took their airplane out right now, I would not do anything close to that. That's really impressive.
Goodness, no. Yeah, it would be very unsafe in the game.
It'd be crash after crash. Well, let's get into the backcountry class. This is a little bit smaller class, a little bit smaller airplanes, but I would say, and arguably, a little more challenging with the size. Like your smaller airplanes, a little more maneuverable. They're gonna get off the ground faster, but they're gonna have a little less horsepower too.
And they're gonna be affected by the wind a lot more too.
That's true. Look at that wind. You can't really see the windsock right now, but that wind is kicking. You can hear it. So up first in the backcountry class is Little Black Rain Cloud Gaming, LBR Gaming, and it's Coronado 170B, number 86, out of Arkansas. I know someone out of Arkansas. Cam Walton's out of Arkansas.
I have
Byron Bowman. Too. Yeah, I don't know if you're actually, before I go to Byron, LBR was actually with us in Arkansas for Oklahoma. But anyways, I digress. Byron Bowman, number 75, in his Cessna 170B. Byron's a great guy. I've met him a couple times in real life. He's out of Kentucky. Up next is Aether Josh, number 84, in his Champ Scout, out of Antwerp, Belgium. And finally, rounding out the class is MP Troll and his Rand S6S, which is an incredible airplane. He's out of Australia, and he's playing on Xbox, which is something we wanted to really push for the past couple events. Actually, this season is make sure that everything we do you can do on Xbox or on PC.
Yeah, that was introduction last year that you could compete on Xbox and on PC. I feel like that came after Flight Expo.
Yeah, we wanted to make sure we could do it on Xbox or PC. So everything, all the scenery we do, whether you want to compete with us or not, you can go online in the store and download it for your client, whatever you're on, Xbox, PC, whatever. And all of our airplanes, are available on either one. I think there's only one or two that are not. That's really, really impressive.
Shout out to Mrs. Brown Dog Audio. She's saying that she can't wait to be in Texas on the line scoring. Now, last weekend, she got cooked on the line. Someone didn't wear some sunblock and left from the weekend looking like a lobster, if I remember correctly, as I set my tee.
I mean, she wasn't the only one. I almost did too, and
Brown
several
Dog did
several
too.
of us did too. I think I said Brown Dog. You said Brown Dog did too. I think he did as well. But
Oh yeah, his whole right
it's,
side was done.
it's sunny out there, and you're standing there for 4 or 5 hours, and you're not wearing sunscreen. You're gonna get burnt.
That's true.
Brown
So
Dog
yeah,
in the
if you're
chat,
in the chat,
saying, Brown
go
Dog's
ahead.
in the chat saying, finally had some good wind today. So that's good to hear. Hangar Studio
Oh,
713,
snap.
thank you for the 10 National Stole Series gift memberships. That's fantastic. Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Our winners
awesome.
of those:
Hangar Studios.
Wes Campbell, Frozen Alaska, Ben Rambler, Jim Withers, Bearded Aviator, John B, Tim's Primetime, Jack Travis, Tristan Coven, and Matthew Felty, all receiving gift memberships by Hangar 713 Studios for our channel.
Yeah, that's super awesome. Had a great time meeting Hangar Studio 713 at the Pennsylvania competition.
Yep.
Came out, hung out with us, and talked to some of the pilots, and took some pictures of some airplanes, and yeah, we had a great time.
We had some, I'd say, terrible, pretty awful weather the first part of the season, and it's really kind of come around now. Appalachian was a great weather event. We had really fair conditions there. Rolling into Heritage, same thing there again, and then into last weekend in Music City. So I'm hoping we round out, in 2 weeks at Lone Star with some amazing wind and some amazing weather. And it wasn't all bad, I guess, but the first several events were just terrible wind for us, right?
Right. I mean, we didn't have any crazy weather, but we just didn't have the winds that we wanted, and that any of the pilots wanted. So yeah, I think Texas
And
is
maybe you're
going
new
to work
to
out for us.
maybe you're new to airplanes at home, and I want to kind of explain that. What we mean is, when that wind's coming up and you have a headwind, which means in your face, the wind's blowing at you, it helps the airplanes get off the line and get off the ground sooner and faster. And so if it's a consistent headwind, say 10 knots, which is about 13, 14 miles an hour, that's going to help the airplanes take off faster. Well, when it's gusty, when it's not directly down in front of them, it's going to help kind of make it more steady or unsteady for them and make them more of a challenge to take off. And if it's from the left or right side, now they have to deal with a crosswind, which can kind of be of a challenge.
Yeah, having to make those crosswind corrections. That's something Tom, when you got your private pilot, I don't know if it was a struggle for you, but for me, it was kind of a struggle just trying to figure out what exactly am I trying to do and why. When I get a crosswind, and then you try to land in a crosswind, and you're like, I don't ever want to do that. If there's a crosswind, I'm never going to touch it.
And it's especially hard in a tail wheel, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want a ground loop. We don't. The tail is constantly. So also, if you're new with airplanes in the chat, or if you're watching, when you're flying a shopping cart from the front, essentially, if you go to Walmart or whatever store you have that's local, and you try to go through the whole store by pushing the shopping cart from the front, you'll kind of have an understanding of what you're dealing with tail wheel flying. But also with the wind, the tail is always trying to windmill and point into the wind, so you're making constant corrections, and when you're trying to land like that, it is just a booger bear to deal with.
I was fortunate enough, or I guess unfortunate enough, that I always flew 172s, which had a nose wheel. And so, we could fly into 20-knot crosswinds, and it was a challenge, but you weren't at risk of possibly, putting it backwards or hitting the wing on the ground. So here comes our backcountry class as they roll up to the the mark here for us. This is LBR Gaming. It is Carinado 170B.
Yeah.
What does that paint scheme remind you of?
Definitely reminds me of the Gulf, Gulf
Okay.
gas station paint schemes, but it also gives me what is it? Is it a Ford 500?
Yes. Yes, the Ford 500, like the rally racing from like the remember those video games in the arcades? Yeah, those guys.
Oh yeah.
Up next is Byron Bowman, number 75, out of Kentucky, in his Cessna 170B, and he chose the very metallic, shiny aluminum look, which, if you've ever tried to polish an airplane, it takes forever.
Hashtag not worth it, but worth it.
Oh, it's worth it. I think it's worth it as long as I'm not doing it. Byron Bowman, everybody.
That's when you find that kid that's hanging on the fence at the airport, and you're like, hey, you want to come over here? You want a flight? Here, polish this airplane first.
40 hours later. Up next in his champ, kind of like your champ, is Aether Josh.
Yeah, like the, I guess this would be the grandson of my champ.
Like an 8 GCBC?
Yep. So not, even though it looks like a decathlon, looks like a Citabria, not exactly an aerobatic airplane, but this aircraft has flaps and it is ready for the backcountry. We had a awesome comparison last weekend with Anthony Lee. He flew an actual decathlon in competition, and the next round we had Jeff Harrell and his American Champion Scout. You could tell the differences with the longer wings and the Scout and the flaps. And same fuselage pretty much, but yeah, it was a great comparison.
I want to go back to the champ in a second, but this is MP Troll number 28. It is Rand's S6S, a nose wheel version of it. They make this in tail wheel as well. The S6. And who flies? I think there's someone famous that flies the S6 with us. Is that right?
Oh, an S6 that's famous?
Didn't Hal have an S6 or did he have an S7?
He had S7.
Okay, S7. Sorry. Don't want to offend the Rams people out there, but but I will say that.
But yeah, we had a
the Ronca. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
The American Champ that you just saw on the 26-foot wheel, that's actually Hangar Studio 713. He's one of our sponsors, helps us out a lot. One thing when he was at the event in Appalachian Mountain Stole, he was walking around looking at the champs, looking at the scouts, and saying, "Hey, I want to do this. I want to make this model. I want to do this thing." So he's actually trying to improve the flight simulator model off the planes that are at our STOL competition. So it's really cool to see that.
All right, LBR Gaming on the line. A fellow Arkansan, probably cheering for the Arkansas Razorbacks later on today.
We have the green flag.
He was trying to take over the Little Rock Airport from me on Sky Cards, but I had to show him who was boss.
I can see him doing that.
Yeah.
Kind of just lifts off there past the 200-foot mark, just like a feather. I think we'll see the first time through, we'll see some very conservative attempts, and then they'll kind of go harder as they get through the first round here.
I feel like in real life competitions, like that's what happens. Like the first attempt is somewhat conservative. Even practice, like even the practice days, they're really conservative. I don't want to show each other those true numbers just yet.
Oh, absolutely. That was Byron Bowman. Great takeoff there. Up next is our American Champion Scout on 26s. Either Josh from Belgium. Here we go.
Let's go.
Rocking the eSTOL livery. Just shy of 200 feet there.
Yeah, he's going to choose the 3-point takeoff as opposed to bringing up the tail, putting more air over the wings. Right.
Up next, we have our Rans S6S. MP
The
Troll.
Coyote 2. Yeah, so last weekend we had a S6 in competition, which I'm pretty sure had Oratex as the fabric system, as the covering system on that aircraft. Not really fabric, a lot of plastic, but very lightweight. And you could see the ribs of the aircraft in the sunlight. Like you could look pretty much through the fuselage and just see the skeleton.
Right, and what Cam's talking about is not every airplane is built out of metal. Some are built out of fabric. And, of course, the slang would be rag, right?
Yep.
But, you know, it as long as you get the wind under or over, you know, any surface, whether it's fabric or metal, it'll fly. So different companies make different types of skins, and it depends on what the pilot wants and how they want to customize that.
Absolutely.
LBR coming back around here on turning base to final in his Carinata 170B. LBR stands for Little Black Rain Cloud. Steffi in the chat saying, good luck to my backcountry fellows. Hangar Studio saying, let's grow. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. I used to say that in my past life as a percussion instructor. Let's grow.
That was a Gardner I'd say
Taking that
too.
low and slow. Yeah. Pretty sure my mom says that in her mind or in her head.
That derailed you there.
Low and slow. Oh yeah.
Oh, we almost touched down there. That was close.
Yeah, I had a little mini oscillation, if you will.
About 15
Not
feet past the
really.
line when we touched down.
Yep. Yep.
First score about 160 or so, 180. You know, I wish we had the Steffi's tool for eSTOL in real life, because we immediately get scores. So it takes your flight simulator data. You can do this at home while you're practicing or whatever, and it uploads it to us in the booth, so we can immediately get your score. That would save us a lot of people on the line sending out there.
Yeah. I need to get in the secret club so I can see the information that you're seeing.
I can introduce you to the secret club right now.
Okay. Nice 89-foot landing from Byron Bowman. That's going to put him in first place right now. Combined total
There's
217.
Josh. Josh from Belgium. Ooh, he stalls it there, but he recovers. The wing does not touch on our side, and he lands on the left main pretty hard. But it shows how much you can take on this airplane. Josh dropping about 466 feet per minute there on the touchdown, which is the heaviest in the class so far, and stopping rolling out at 170 feet. I think sometimes when you scare yourself like that, you can't focus on stopping.
Yeah.
'Cause you're thinking about, oh my, I'm stalling, and you're not focused on hitting the brakes and locking them up, and you're not in a spot where, because you're on your left main, you're not on the right, you're not centered up on your tires. You're not in a spot where you can hit the brakes hard and not avoid a nose over. So it's really kind of you give up a lot when you do that.
Yeah, I feel like having I mean, not only having a sterile cockpit, which is kind of hard in this competition, right? Because it's all digital. You got Discord clapping off, and you got people talking and everything. Like, it's really hard to do all of that all at the same time and ensure you stop properly, especially when you get a little scare like that.
MP Troll
Oh,
with a scratch.
that's
That
not a
was
boo to
close.
MP Troll. It's just a boo for scratching. So don't come at me, MP Troll.
The good news is he's in Australia. I think you're safe,
Okay,
but he's also
but
Australian, so maybe not.
that's what I'm saying. Everything in Australia wants to kill you, especially if you're American, right?
I think he'll get. That was so close. I think he was about a foot, maybe even on the line. So just a slight adjustment there. I think he'll do it. He's also the first scratch of our competition, so that's the first time we've had someone scratch today. Byron Bowman with us closest to the line. He was 3 feet from the line in the last run. But here's LBR Gaming in his Coronado 170B. What's interesting is we actually had a couple variations of the 170B in the eSTOL. We went back to the Coronado version because we want people on PC or Xbox to be able to play it. The other version we had was freeware and it wasn't available on Xbox. We didn't want to give people on PC an advantage over Xbox. Here goes LBR Gaming. Power's up. Tails up. Brakes released. That's like a Jeff Pohl moment there. Takes off just past 120 feet or so. We'll see what it comes in at here in a second. Stay tuned after this class. We have the Unlimited class with some interviews from NorCali and Brown Dog 942. Here comes Byron Bowman and his 170B.
Very much in tune with his aircraft. He's been flying that bird for a while for sure. I can't think of any other airplane that he's flown, or at least I can't remember. I can't go that far back, but should be having it dialed in pretty well.
Aether Josh and his champ, or his scout rather. Power's up. Here he goes.
Yeah, climbing like a homesick
floats
angel.
off. I want to see him be a little bit more aggressive. I think he can push the nose over on takeoff and get that tail wheel up and reduce the drag friction on his tail wheel. I think that'll help him. We have one more on the start finish line. And B-Troll. Pretty solid takeoff from MP Troll there. I'm impressed. Scroll had a 136-foot takeoff. We do have to manually judge Xbox players, unlike PC players, because we can't get that data from them automatically. But that's okay. We have people for that.
We do have people for that.
Everything you see here is run by volunteers. Everything on the eSTOL broadcast, shout out to our volunteers. From scoring to judges to people who line up the pilots to the people who instruct the pilots during practice. It's all by volunteers. So if you want to join the community, nationalstol.com/chat. Or you can ask in the chat, how do I join? Someone will throw that at you. nationalstol.com/chat. It's also on the top of your screen. You select the eSTOL role and you can get immediately involved in eSTOL. No experience required. Probably some experience required. But you'll still have a lot of fun.
It's true. You will have a lot of fun. LBR
Here comes
Gaming
LBR
on
Gaming.
short final.
That was close.
Man, that looks so good. Oh, but call to scratch. Yeah, you cannot touch the line. You can ever so slightly just get as close as possible, like, but you can't touch the line.
He was 10 feet short. Is what the score said for 77-foot landing distance. So it was good landing distance, but like you gotta get
Oh
past the
yeah.
line. Here's Byron Bowman. Byron's come to a couple of our events in person before. He's a really nice guy. Here he comes over the line,
Very nice.
touching down. A little hard, but I like it.
Yeah, doing the chop, plop, and drop it, like we like to say in real life competitions.
209 feet for Byron Bowman. That's his best one yet.
Mm.
They have one more run for these guys to do it, to beat it. Byron is in first place. Here comes either Josh, who's currently in third. He's gonna float. He's gonna float a lot.
Mm.
That's one I think, Cam, that the rule doesn't say you can. The rule allows you to go rounds, right? That's one. You
Right.
come over the line like that, full power or go around. Let's try again. The rule doesn't let you do it more than once or more, trying to abuse it. But if you tried it the first time,
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say that's perfectly fine to go around. Because I don't want someone to be in a position where they're gonna have to like lawn dart it and hurt themselves or break their airplane.
Right? There's like that delicate line of, are you doing this on purpose for a better score, or are you doing this for actual safety? And I feel like that is something that you can institute the safety card for, because, yeah, I'm not trying to lawn dart it in. I'm not trying to smash my gear. No black flags. I want to compete for the next round. So, yeah, why not do a go round?
Yep. His touchdown G-force was 1.78 Gs. So it's pretty heavy. I mean, that's significant. Not going to break anything at that level, but easily enough to go around. Here comes MB Troll short final in his Rams. He had a scratch last time.
Yeah.
He's over the line
Good
good
over
this
the
time.
line.
He's floating quite a bit. About 50 feet or so. Gets it stopped about 129 feet.
So you were saying with Aether Josh, with that 1.78 G-force, like on that landing, like, not necessarily bad, but it is something that you're going to notice. I mean, if it's really over 1 G, you're going to notice, right? Because as we're sitting on Earth right now, we are at 1 G. But like, you hop in the car and whip it around a corner, like some of the rally car drivers do, and like you are experiencing up to I don't want to say 4 Gs. It can't be 4 Gs, but like 2 Gs for real. So seen it on the G meter on a Camaro, that you can do 2 Gs in a car pretty easily, and you do notice when you're doing it. It is a little scary.
And carrier landings are about 3 to 4 Gs. So you're still less than that, but they're also built for it. They have the trailing link landing gear. So they when you
Yep.
touch down, it's meant to absorb that power. Here's LBR Gaming, tail up, in his Carolina 170B.
Pulling,
Hovers
not a
off
hair
around
early, but
150.
yep, pulled quite a bit too early on that, but he's up and he's airborne.
If you're watching at home, you can tell when they're early because they pull back and nothing happens. They pull their stick back and they don't go anywhere. If they're late, they pull back, they immediately take off. Here's Byron Bowman, currently our leader in this class. A 209-foot
Good
takeoff,
tail up.
or 209-foot total score.
On the brakes, releasing the brakes now. Ooh, got some solar flare stuff happening in my eyes on that shiny livery there.
I think that's why he polishes the airplane. He wants us to be blinded for his takeoffs. Can't see his scores. Here's Aether Josh in Hangar 713 Studios Scout. Here we go. I think it was longer than for him than before. I'll see in a second here.
Yeah, but maybe the
134,
wind
so
conditions
I think they are dying down a little bit. We're seeing longer distances each round. There's our windsock there on top of the screen. And here comes MP Patrol. MP Patrol got it off pretty fast that time.
Yeah.
Very aggressively climbing and then leveling off for a second to get some more airspeed. Waiting for his score to come in. This is the final lap. You'll see 4 landings, and then we'll have a winner for the backcountry class. We'll have to check MP Troll's score here on his takeoff in a minute. The judges couldn't catch it there, so we're gonna have to go back and watch the video.
Okay. We're waiting for them to come back around. List, excuse me. We can go through some of our sponsors. We've got On Air Airline Manager, the most complete economic platform for flight simulators from freelance pilot to full airline management in a persistent shared world.
You can join our virtual airline, National eSTOL lines, National STOL lines, because that's a word, on air, and fly with us. So you can move cargo around the country in your STOL plane on air, and it's a lot of fun. Plus, you can meet people and get fly for them too. So it's really a blast, and it's adds a social aspect to otherwise solitary flight simulator. Here comes LBR Gaming, short final. Takeoff was solid. Let's see if he doesn't land it here.
Ooh. Looking like a sub 100 foot landing for sure, around the 80, 85-ish mark.
That's what you want to see. 81 foot landing, 180 foot total score. That'll make him the leader.
Go. All right, LBR. You know, since
Nice
he can't
job,
beat
LBR.
me in Sky Cards, then he's got to do it here.
Here's Byron with his shortest takeoff yet. See how he can do on the landing. Can he best LBR here? Floats.
Ooh.
Not going to help him.
Not going to help him.
Down about 100
Like
feet.
Maybe 10 feet. Yeah, 10 feet further than LBR, maybe.
I think Byron just lost that to LBR, unfortunately, for Byron. The boards
exactly
have been updated,
10
and LBR is
feet.
currently in first place.
Yeah, so LBR had 81 feet on that last landing, and Byron Bowman 91 feet.
Here comes Josh. Josh needs about a score 50 feet to land on the landing to beat LBR. That's going to be tough. He can do 70 or 80 feet. Probably see that.
Got to see if he dumps the flaps as soon as he touches down to kill that lift. Put all the weight
does.
of the
Yeah, that's what he
aircraft
did.
on. Yeah, yeah.
That's exactly what he did. He killed the lift a little bit late, I think. He floated past the line about, I'd say 20 feet or so. The score says 31 feet past the line. So if he pulled that flaps a little bit earlier, he'd settle down just before that mark there, probably right after the line.
Yeah, you know, that's something that that Brandon Korn was talking about, flying the backcountry boss for the IRL competitions. You know, he's got that unobstructed view from the left and the right. And when he crosses the line, he's at such a high alpha, such a high angle of attack, that when he chops the power, dumps the flaps, like, he thinks he's doing it in the right area or the right time, but he actually floats past the line further than what he was intending. So, and that's one thing that people have to compete with, is that sight picture.
That was a high angle of attack. But he carried the power a little bit too late. MP Patrol, if you're listening, later on when you watch this, you're carrying power a little bit too late there. So touching right down about 100 mark or so. Good touchdown, good landing, but just a little bit too much power too long. Like you said though, it's so hard to see it, Cam. Like, you have no idea where the line is when you're going 80 miles an hour, 100 miles an hour. As you approach the line, it's hard to see.
Yeah.
So what do you say we do our results and then go into our interview with NorCal and Cap Blueplane?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's see. get those results here on the screen in just a moment. We have all of our pretty airplanes taxiing back to the pits.
What's interesting to me is they always, let's say they always nail the taxi line so well. That would be all over the place.
All right, so in first place, LBR Gaming, the combined total of 180 feet. Second place, Byron Bowman with a combined total of 205 feet. MP Troll in third place with 220 combined total. And rounding out the backcountry class, Aether Josh with a combined total of 283 feet.
MP Troll and LBR really excelled in that round. You know, MP Troll came up from fourth place to third place, and LBR from second to first. So that was a really exciting round for eSTOL.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so is it time to throw it to Kat and NorCali J?
It'll be just a moment here. So while we're waiting for them to, while Kat finds NorCal in the pits there, we're gonna go over to a couple of our words from our sponsors here. You have those messages, Cam?
Hello, Cat.
Looks like we're connected now to NorCali.
Okay.
I can't hear Cat.
We're just getting that squared away with our connection there.
Absolutely. All right, looks like we're ready for that interview. So over to you, Kat and NorCali J.
Thank you very much, Cam. Thank you very much, Tom. It's been an amazing show so far. So, with us today, we have, somebody who needs absolutely no introduction whatsoever. We have It's NorCali, one of our trainers, one of our pilots, the winner of the spec class last year, and currently leading both spec and unlimited class this year. NorCali, hi, welcome.
Hello, Cat.
So I was just wondering, how did you get into flight sim in the first place?
Flight Sim 2020 dropped during COVID, and I was hooked on day one. Just the second that I saw we can fly anywhere in the entire world with accuracy, that was it after that. I was hooked on it.
Yeah, and so then how did you get into the wonderful world of eSTOL?
Well, there was this lady named Cat Blue Flame that encouraged me to join eSTOL, and doing lots of practice. We did more practice, I think, in that first month for Jennings in 2024 than in any other event.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember it well. And obviously
yeah,
last season
you had a big
you and
influence.
me,
Big influence.
Oh, thank you. Well, last season you and me, we had a bit of a back and forth. There were some threats. There was some cat food. How did you find all of that? Did you enjoy it?
Well, I thought it was pretty funny at first, but I think it drug on a little long.
And so, how are you finding this year so far? Obviously, we've only got this round and the next round to go before the end. How are you feeling this far so far in the season?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. I think I've had a pretty big advantage on everybody being able to make every event this season. I'd like to see everyone join every time, make the competition even tighter. But, doing as well as I can, and it's working out this season.
I mean, you're still placing amazingly. It's not just consistency that's got you to this point. And also, I see today you're flying. You're back in the old Carbon Cub. Tell us a little bit more about that.
I'm back in the Cub
what's
from
the
last
reasoning?
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I thought I would give the old girl her chance this season as well. I've been flying the kit box for the last 9 events, so now I thought I would change it up and go back to the plane I originally flew.
And are you? Do you have your plans for the next season coming up? Are you looking at
Ooh,
sticking at planes? Like, what's your future plans?
I would love to fly the Norden next season. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that one. It all depends on quite a few factors, for sure, for sure.
Right, right.
And
Let's make it to
yeah,
2024 and then we'll do that.
let's. Well, we hope. Um, so other than that, I think now I'm going to throw it back to Cam and Tom.
I have to go compete. I'll see you guys
Yeah,
over on the field.
yeah, you have to go compete. You've been a busy guy. Right, I'll see
All
you
right,
in the
thank you,
air.
Kat.
Not a problem.
And thank you so much, Norcali J and Kat. That was an awesome interview. Always get to hear where we all start our origin stories, especially if we're the evil, the evil antithesis, or I don't know, the villain, if you will. But like, yeah, I have to say that I got started in eSTOL from Kat as well, just watching that the actual fly-in, everybody flying in from all over the world to Jennings in 2024. So Kat and Austin, Bursix TV were hosting that, and I hopped on Kat's channel and just fell in love with the ambiance because it wasn't the in real life competitions, right? Like, we were having a good
Yeah.
time. There might have been some drinks involved. I don't know,
Yeah,
but
my a little bit of drinking and flying. In my defense, I was flying a Russian AN2, so it's
you were.
it's on theme for
It's
sure.
powered by vodka,
Um,
right?
yeah, of course, it's
Yes.
powered by vodka, anger, and hammers. Um,
Ah,
and yeah, I think we were at the end of about 7 hours of flying. It was dark. We were navigating by the road lights, so we were flying at about 10 feet. It was interesting. Yeah, had the music going. We were having a bit of a party while we turned up to Jennings. It was good times.
that was the big yellow AN2, right? Did it have national? Was it
That's
a
the
national
one.
stole livery?
It had the National eSTOL livery. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome.
That was the famous
All right.
AN2 for sure. And I think it was really cool, Kat, that you flew from every event, right? Your the shtick was that you would put the Zenith right in the
Yep.
AN2, and then fly from
Yep.
event to event to event to event. And so wherever the
Yeah.
event was, if it was across country, you're flying an AN2 at what, 70, 80 knots, maybe 100 knots,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
from the event, and going 16 hours later to the next event. So I mean, it's pretty cool. I mean, it was a lot of fun, and I think the stream, the streams from that and the vibe from that, like Cam said, was awesome. And I wanted to say, I met Norcali at FS Expo, and he is as real as it gets. He's a super cool dude, and he's a great streamer as well. So check him out as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Check out his channel.
I have one final plug here. If you like the gear you see on stream, you have Cam Walton in the top right there. He's wearing our National Stole shirt. You can buy this on our store right now at shop.nationalstole.com. Shop.nationalstole.com. You can buy the eStole shirts. You can buy the hats. You can buy my hats, my shirt, all that stuff on shop.nationalstore.com. We've set it up in a way that if you're in Europe or Australia, we have local suppliers, so you're not paying $80 for shipping. It's a lot cheaper than that. So please, if you're interested in our stuff, go to shop.nationalstore.com. Go find some merchandise.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
looks like yeah, looks like we are going to bounce to commercial, and we will be right back for more eStole.
Welcome to On Air Airline Manager, where the skies are yours to conquer. Dive into the ultimate aviation simulation, where players from around the world connect, collaborate, and compete. Whether you're starting as a small bush pilot or running a budding airline, the possibilities are endless. Lease your first airliner or rent a bush plane. The choice is yours. With over 2 million pilot flights logged from Microsoft Flight Simulator, X-Plane, P3D, and FSX, and 8 million AI flights, you're joining a truly immersive world. Navigate a dynamic economy. Manage airports, build fixed base operators, share assets, and hire a crew. From buying, renting, or leasing aircraft to tracking your finances, On Air has the tools to help you grow. Explore a persistent MMO world that runs in real time. Manage charter flights, create virtual airlines, and develop custom routes. Whether you're delivering cargo, transporting passengers, or managing your very own airport, you can optimize every aspect of your operations. From thrilling bush flights in rugged terrains to long-haul airliner operations, On Air offers it all. Bush flying will test your piloting skills in some of the most remote and adventurous locations around the world. With real-time flight tracking, custom scoring, AI dispatchers, and crew management, On Air is the most complete airline management experience. Ready to soar? Experience a 7-day free trial, no commitment required. Join the active Discord community today and begin your aviation journey with On Air Airline Manager. Your airline, your adventure, your skies.
And we are back. We're back
Welcome
at
back,
Music
Cam.
City Stole. Yeah, welcome back, Tom.
Got 2 to
Been
go.
exciting
Unlimited,
competition. Yeah,
unlimited
yeah,
spec.
absolutely. Yo, how about that commercial? That was I felt like I was watching like that on-air commercial. I felt like I was watching like a movie like preview or something. Like it was that was a solid commercial from them.
Yes, it is. I really enjoy On Air. I've flown it now for a couple of years, probably 4 or 5 years actually, since 2020 came out, and On Air came out, and it there's different levels of like challenging. Like there's the easy level and there's the harder servers, and I've really enjoyed it because it lets me fly with my friends and do something like a common goal with everybody. Kind of like eSTOL does, but like in a different type of competitive way. It's more about trying to build an airline and succeed.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I think that that is an amazing tool. I also happen to think that one of our other sponsors, Say Intentions AI, happens to be a tool that, admittedly, right, like at the beginning, like I was like, I don't know about this. What is this going to do for us? But the more that I dove into it, the more that we talked to Jesse, I believe that's Say Intentions, Jesse. Like just understanding what they're doing is a vital tool, especially if you are using Flight Simulator as your aid for private pilot. Like if you're supplementing your actual flying and doing it in Microsoft Flight Simulator or X Plane. I don't know if we're talking about them, but Say Intentions AI is a valuable tool that I would have used coming into the game. I might actually use for my commercial check ride and training in game.
And before we start the unlimited class, I have to tell a short story about my learning of Flight Simulator. when I was, 12 years old, and it was on Flight Simulator 98 and 95, and not quite as high fidelity as this. Wouldn't be quite as cool watching the eSTOL on Flight Simulator 95. However, um, I was flying about one time a month in that's all I could really afford. Actually, one time a year at 12 years old. But then once I hit 14, I was about once a month or so. And my instructor said, "How are you maintaining currency? How do you remember what we're doing between flights?" And what it was is Flight Simulator. Is That's how I learned on Flight Simulator. I'd reinforce what I was doing on in the real airplane, go back to Flight Simulator, and then do it. And then I would remember it because I was doing it constantly. I'd go home after school and start Flight Simulator up. And so I think say intention AI is actually really where it ties in is important because you're used to making these calls only when you do them. And if you're the first time in the airplane and you're paying a lot of money for the airplane in real life for lessons, and you're learning also how to do ATC and Unicom, it's really overwhelming. Whereas if you can take that off and learn say intentions through Flight Simulator, and sorry, learn ATC through Flight Simulator, and use say intentions is an interacting tool with AI that talks to you like a person would. And so there's no mistakes, there's no screwing up. It helps you. And so I really like the tool. I think it's really cool. I've been super impressed by the technology since I saw them at Flight Sim Expo 2 years ago, and I really hope they continue to grow and continue not only just as a very helpful tool in Flight Simulator, but as a very educational tool in Flight Simulator. Because there's a lot of pilots out there even today that are commercially rated that don't like talking to ATC because they don't know what they're afraid they're going to say the wrong thing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, with Say Intentions, experience the future of flight simulation with SayIntentions.ai. Leveraging cutting edge AI technology, they bring you the most advanced ATC simulator on the market. Enjoy entourage features for AI crews and dynamic AI SkyOps missions for immersed challenges. So, I mean, seriously, like that is what you really want as far as your flight training goes. And especially if you're just a fanboy for aviation, right? You want to talk to ATC, like you just want to do the whole deal. You can get with Say Intentions AI and experience that in game. And I can't say enough great things about them.
So just behind the go ahead, Cam.
And that was Justin with Say Intentions AI. I got his name wrong. So um Justin, sorry about that, but thanks for coming out and hanging out with us at Pinedale for sure.
Just behind the bleachers, we have our unlimited class waiting in the wings. Let's go into our unlimited class lineup so we can cover that and get them out here because everyone's here to watch them. Unfortunately, not us. So we'll keep the show rolling for y'all.
All
This is
right.
the unlimited
So
class.
great. Yeah, you want to take it away?
Oh, sure, I'll do it. I'll do this one. You can fill me in where I missed one. This is the unlimited class for National eSTOL. Up first is Wes Campbell, number 72 in the Kit Fox SS from Wiley, Texas. Second is NorCali J in the Savage Carbon from Eureka, California, number 22. Third is Luke Carrier, number 99 in the Monster NX Cub, Waynesville, Ohio. And that's the Cub with the nose wheel, which you will see. It looks completely different for a Cub. Sub B in number 121, Savage Gravel from Poplarville, Mississippi. And Sub B actually came out to on Oregon and met us there a couple months ago. So he came out and saw what we were doing there too. He took some amazing photos. And lastly, in the limo class is Bubbles, number 23 in the Savage Gravel from Tucson, Arizona.
All the love for Bubbles and Sub B for everybody. Can't exclude anybody from that, but if you're a fan of Trailer Park Boys, you understand where Bubbles got the name.
I thought you were gonna just pander to Bubbles, so I'll just do that. I'll say all the love for Bubbles. You guys got to win your love for me.
Yeah.
You got to win the class to win your love. Here we go, guys. Let's bring out
Hey,
the class for the introductions here. The wind looks like it's about the same as it was before. Let me check the METAR while we're waiting for the pilots to come out. Cam, you're like the
yeah,
update. The
it's
update's really
looking
good.
it's uh-oh. Uh-oh. Let's see. Let's look at the update.
170 degrees right down the runway, 14 to
Yep.
19 knots. This is gonna be fantastic.
This is going to be super exciting. So, like Tom had mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, the airplanes love wind. I mean, they love, and as straight down the pipe as possible. You know, you're going to have your shortest takeoffs, your shortest landings. Like it is absolutely what our pilots want, absolutely what the airplane really wants itself.
Up first
So,
in
yeah,
the unlimited class, this is number 72 in the Rockstar paint scheme of the Kid Fox SS, Wes Campbell.
rocking that rock star livery, the Taco Delight, what he used to have when it
He
was
told, I mean, he
the
still has it
white
on the
Kit
scene.
Fox.
He told me
Right.
Taco Delight sponsored him. Like, and they actually came to him and sponsored him. And I'm really wondering if Rockstar came and sponsored him for the rest of it.
Yeah.
So I don't think I, I don't think he would have changed from Taco Delight if he didn't get a sponsor from Rockstar.
That's true. That's true. We might
Here
have to
comes
do some interviewing after the season for that.
we maybe ask Kat to go task that right now or in a minute. Um,
Yeah.
Up next is number 22, Norcali J in the Savage Carbon. And his Norcali is kind of painted like Northern California. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, met NorCali J for the first time at FS Expo last year, and like just outstanding guy. Had a great time hanging with him after the competition. You know, I want to go back, Tom. I want to go back to FS Expo. I want to go do the put the trailer up and well, hashtag RIP trailer.
We can bring what's left of the trailer. We'll have to. We won't need much space. It's very small. It can fit. Probably carry on. We'll get back to that in a second. This is number 99, Luke Carrier in the Monster NX Cub. This is the Cub with the nose wheel. They say that the tail wheel's in the wrong way, but it's a red, white, and blue American flag. Luke Carrier is gorgeous NX Cub, and you'll see what he can do. He has an advantage in crosswinds with that nose wheel. Some of the other guys won't have, is that he can really get down and put it down without having to worry about ground looping it. Unfortunately, today it's straight down the runway for him, but it's also 17 or 14 to 19 knots, so that's gonna be pretty fun.
Oh yeah, definitely gonna be fun for him.
Here comes Sub B in his Savage Gravel, number
Yeah, the
121. I
Argyle.
can't even see the paint yet. Is it Argyle?
Yeah, it should be the Argyle livery, which is super cool. Gives me some ideas for in the future when I decide to take on aerobatic competition. Maybe put some Argyle
That
under
is
the wings
cool.
of whatever bird. Yeah, it's
Now I know
really
what I
cool.
want to do.
I
I see the Comanches paint in the future.
oh
This is
my
Sub B
goodness,
in
that
his
would be
in his
so cool.
Savage Gravel. Sub B is a established photographer, and he takes some amazing aviation photography stuff. So check him out online, and
Yeah,
he's in our Discord if you want to talk to him.
yeah, he
Subliminal.
took some fantastic photos at Oregon Trail Stole. Was a little jealous, just slightly jealous that I didn't have my camera out there taking photos. I like the announcing gig, so you know, what better person to give it to than Sub B? But yeah, he took some fantastic photos and did some great post work on those. So Sub B, if you're listening, I'm pretty sure you're listening, man. Those photos were great, and your post production work on those photos was fantastic.
This is number
Coming
23,
from a
Bubbles, in his
professional
Savage
photo.
Gravel as well. Sorry, okay, I'm going to cut you off there.
Oh,
Bubbles
nope.
joined us this season, and he's been pretty hot. So I think he's going to really do a lot here. Um, what's important is that, it's whether you're new to this eSTOL season or whether you're been an experienced veteran for a couple years now, is you practice, and we've seen that from these guys as they come out here and practice every event and between every event, getting their distances and scores down.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
absolutely.
bearded aviator in the chat saying, "I really need to try eSTOL one day." And yes, you do. You need to come try it out, man. It's so much fun.
Come on.
nationalstall.com/chat to join eSTOL. It's free. And Anoff saying, "Cam, let's meet on FS weekend in which is in the Netherlands."
Yes. Gotta go.
So,
All right,
in
we get
March, FS
the
weekend,
green
Netherlands.
flag.
We got the green flag
Okay.
now.
All right, yeah, we'll have to figure that out because that's I definitely need to make my way over the pond for sure.
Here's Wes Campbell. A lot of power, a lot of torque in that airplane. And he's off the ground really
Wow,
short.
that was that was aggressive, which is something that we're used to, right? So this is the Kit Fox by Parallel 42, right?
I believe so. That was or is it? I gotta look it up for you. I'll check for you a second.
Yeah, I don't want to get
And that was a 23-foot takeoff. It is the Parallel
I don't
42
want to get it.
Freedom Fox. That is correct.
Okay, don't
It's a
want to get
Savage
Edson
Carbon, a little
mad
bit
at me.
longer takeoff. Yeah, Edson's a great dude. I like talking to him too.
Hmm.
There we go. We got some audio back now, guys. If you're listening at home, a lot of audio back.
All right, the NX Cub,
So the
Luke Carrier at the helm.
wow, that was a lot of power immediately. And you are going to see some really short takeoffs here, guys. It's 14 to 19 knots or 14, 17 knots, I think. So you're going to see some really short distances on takeoff here. It may seem, you're at home, you're like, wow, that's not really realistic. It actually is. And when it's that strong a wind, it's absolutely that realistic.
Absolutely, yeah.
Here's Sub B in a Savage Gravel. He does have NOS, and he is off the ground. Sub B in
That
10
NOS,
feet off the
man.
ground. You know, the Carbon doesn't have NOS, but the Gravel does, and it shows because his takeoff was twice the distance. Almost. At 23.
I need more cats, Bubbles. I need more cats on the plane.
You hear the NOS? He's off. He could pull a lot sooner, I think. I think he waited a little bit too long there.
Yeah.
It's not a bad takeoff by any means. I mean, he's still 300 feet shorter than I could do. But he's off in 44 feet there.
Yeah, I think that there's a misconception that like if you fly actual airplanes, you can come in here and just win, fly the wheel pants off of an airplane. But it is not a one for one by any means. There's a lot more skill flying the eSTOL competition than it is, I want to say, in the real life because the controls are just a lot different. Not a little different, but they're a lot more sensitive. My experience.
Wes Campbell, number 72, here he is, short final. Had a 23-foot takeoff. And settles down at the 5 foot.
Oh,
10 foot.
that is ridiculous.
10 foot, sorry. It was 11-foot landing for a score of 34 feet. I can do that math in my head. This wind is ripping.
Wow. Yeah, everyone's just floating in.
Here comes NorCali J, number 22. You just saw him on the interview with Cat Blue Flame. Here he is in Savage Carbon.
What? I don't even know what I just saw. Like I want to say it looked like a scratch. He was so low and close to the line. I don't think it was, but man.
He was that was a 40-foot landing from NorCali. We know he can do a little better than that. But it was equally impressive. But he was the interesting part there is his vertical speed was minus 100 feet. which was nothing. It's like it's floating down. Here's Luke Carrier
Yeah.
from a high angle approach.
Stomp on
Right around
those
50 foot
brakes,
mark.
'cause you're not gonna nose over in that.
Well, that's the interesting thing about the NX Cup is that the nose wheel's so big, right? So even in the 182s that are
Yeah.
nose wheel, you have like a 6.5 or 8 nose wheel, right? One of the big guys. And that's
Yep,
gonna,
yep,
you know,
yep.
you're still at risk of it, right? Jeff Abrams, as much as he hits the brakes, he's still at risk of it potentially if he hits a bump. But in the NX Cup, with the nose wheel so big, it'd be almost impossible to hit the nose wheel or hit the prop.
It's not like or especially like a tri-pacer. The prop is like right there at the ground.
Yep.
There's no heavy braking
sub-
in that airplane.
Sub B. If that's over the
Oh,
line, that is
good.
short, and it's 10 feet, 20 feet rather. But he had the shortest takeoff of 10 feet. That was a 19-foot landing, Cam.
Sub B, man. Man, these
Sub B
numbers are
currently in the
getting
lead with
ridiculous.
29-foot total score.
Bubbles is bringing the kiddies home.
Yes, he is.
Just absolutely floating like a leaf.
I think he could go a little slower in the Savage Gravel, but it was a good first run, and it got him over the line.
Yep.
Probably underscore about 40 feet there, so he's probably looking about 98 feet total in that round for Bubbles. That person's excited in the crowd. They're
Oh
loving it.
yeah, all day. I think they're excited because they had a little drinks. I hadn't seen the National eSTOL bar before, but that's awesome. We got some Stella Artois in the back there, and some
Yep.
wine. Okay. Oh,
You can tell our
and
color designers
man.
from Switzerland. Here we go.
Oh man.
Wes Campbell, currently in second place, is Kit Fox SS. Second place with 34 feet, by the way.
Jeez. Oh, that's ridiculous.
As long as this wind stays, it's going to be a very challenging class.
I wonder if we've had any changes in the wind. Not so much. Out of the 180 at 9 to 19 gusting.
If you're at home in the
Yeah.
chat, you can give us a shout out. We are reading the chat. There's 35 of you on the YouTube channel right now. Probably even more on the Facebook chat.
Don't be afraid to ask us any questions in the chat as well.
You can always play Stop the Host. We're good with that too. Here comes NorCal EJ.
Yes.
That was solid. I like it. 21 foot that time. So a little bit longer than last time. But you know the difference was Wes Campbell on his first takeoff was 10 foot. Second takeoff was 10 foot. But Wes Campbell halved his score on that takeoff. Here's Luke Carrier.
Putting in the work with the NX Cub.
Yep. Just putting the wing up into the air and hoping it flies like a kite. That was a solid takeoff from him, 42 feet. A little bit less that time. I think the wind died down a little bit there. We'll see here in a second.
Yep.
Sub B. That was really good from Sub B. Not quite 10 feet like last time. 15 feet this time from Sub B.
just ripping it off the ground. Let's see what Bubbles is going to do for us. Also in the gravel. It almost
He
looks
seems
like...
a lot faster.
Yeah.
Like he
a lot
seems like he could take
faster.
off prior. I could be wrong.
No,
Cam,
I
I wanna
mean,
point
like,
out
it seemed like it to me.
Sub B's
what was that?
landing.
Sorry.
Sub B's landing on his last run, first run, was 0
Yep.
feet over the line, which means he would have had a perfect landing. He touched down immediately after the line.
That's crazy.
So he definitely earns first place right now. But Wes Campbell's right on his tail.
Ooh, chop, plop, and drop right over the line.
That was awesome.
Textbook. Yeah.
He was slow enough that he
Where did
stopped
we go?
moving forward at all. He was just flat out hovering.
I mean, yeah, he chopped the throttle at the perfect time. 14 feet on that landing. That's 24 feet. That should thrust him into first place, which it does.
He stopped 9 feet after the line and had a 5-foot rollout.
Absolutely ridiculous.
But Norcali says, me too.
Ooh. Yeah.
Norcali's right there behind him. Norcali had a good run. Total score 35 feet. His landing distance 14 feet. Touchdown 1 foot over the line. Not quite 0 feet over the line like Sub B's, but very good.
Yeah. Very good.
He was Luke Carrier.
Grabbing a little bit into the wind, looks like. Ooh, chop the throttle at the most opportune time, I would say. That almost looks like a scratch to me, but like, jeez. 88 feet on that lane.
I agree.
I wonder if there's any more, like, stomping on the brakes that he could do to arrest that that landing while he's on the ground, of course.
Here comes Sub B. Currently in second place, score of 29 feet. Gave up first to Wes Campbell this heat. Sub B can make it up though in his landing. It'll be hard.
It's gonna be really hard. Man, he's dragging it in for sure. Ooh,
that's gonna be a problem for him.
Yeah.
He had a wing strike, I think, there, from what I saw in my eyes.
Oh,
I'm not sure if they're gonna roll out a wing scratch or not.
Yeah, it looks like a black flag, so Sub B is out.
Sub B's out. Best he can do is second place now. Norcali's right on his heels. Here's Bubbles.
No.
Bubbles hadn't competed with any wind yet. He's only been we've had some really bad competition with no wind. So he's trying to get used to that wind here. He's slower this time though. That's a good one from him.
Yeah, it looks like he gave up about 20 feet or so, 25 feet, but like, man. Let's see. Yeah. Looks like he gave up 20 feet, 19 feet.
You caught it, Cam. So Sub B touchdown at 1.4. Sub B touchdown at 1.4 Gs, which wasn't super hard by any means. But the left wing stalled, right? So his left wing dropped, and when it dropped, it hit the wingtip on the ground. So therefore, you're disqualified. In real life, we'd have you get inspected if there's any damage. have it looked at. But he is still in second place. His previous scores do count. Here is Wes Campbell, currently our leader. It's the final time around for this heat. Here we go. Not going to be quite as short as last time.
A little longer. Yeah, right. A little longer than what we're used to seeing from Wes Campbell. I mean, we say that, and it was 28 feet. His second longest is 23 feet for takeoffs.
His takeoff was longer than his total score last time. So, probably won't advance his score based on my limited ability to do math. Here's Norcali. Norcali had a solid one there. It wasn't quite as short as last time, I don't think. Waiting for the score to come in now.
28 feet for him
28
as well.
feet as well. So I'm not getting their best runs this time, guys. But doesn't mean it's over yet.
So if we've got longer takeoff rolls, and we have Sub B who had that wing down, I'm guessing that the winds aren't cooperating with our pilots right now.
I think you're right. And Cam, we see that in real life where every other run or so will have a good run and a bad run. And sometimes even in the same heat, we'll have one pilot will get great wind and it just drops out. And you can feel it. It's incredible. The wind's such a fickle beast. This is Bubbles. The Bubbles is pulling back. You notice how Bubbles pulls back there? And immediately when he pulls back, he can fly. Well, he's already ready to fly. So I think he can push it forward, pull back faster on takeoff roll. What I would say to Bubbles is, and I've never really talked to Bubbles that much, but also what I would say to Bubbles is, I think you need to slow it down a little bit and turn off the NOS and then get that feel where the plane's gonna start flying, and then just go for that part.
Yeah.
Because I think it's going so fast with the NOS. It all happens so quickly that he's almost a little bit behind the airplane. But I critique this, and he's a 46-foot takeoff. It's still impressive. Like it's not like he's doing a lot of things wrong at all. It just that's the tweak I made, so he gets down to 20-foot takeoff, I guess.
Yeah.
But right now he's right behind these guys. And here's Wes Campbell.
Oh, yeah. Red Bearing Modeling saying wind was gusty on the last run for backcountry, but that's not the case now. Oh, what?
That was a perfect chop. He chopped the power. Everything died off on him at the right time, and he flies away. I mean, saw that. I think he just took off again. That was a 4-foot landing roll. He touched down 6 feet past the line. That was a great score from Wes Campbell. His takeoff wasn't great, right? His takeoff was 28 feet, but landing of 10 feet was really impressive.
With the G-force of 1.6. It's probably the highest number we've seen so far for G-force on that landing. It didn't look like it.
Norcali with a solid landing there. Norcali with a 25-foot landing. Here's Luke Carrier.
Yep, Carrier grabbing into the wind.
He has that ability. Touches down.
Wow.
Just past the line.
That's not even a crab to flare. Like he landed in the crab. Looked like he used the rudder to adjust once he touched.
There's not really a problem with that though in a nose wheel airplane. You know, you're putting stress on landing gear, right? But you're not going to ground loop it.
Yeah.
Here's Bubbles. Short final. Last run.
Oh, don't scratch. Don't scratch.
He,
Yeah. All right.
I think he
Bubbles.
had it. He had a little bit of power, and I think he had it. That's a great landing for him. That's probably
Yeah.
right around where he's been. You know, right at 55 feet or so. But with the wind falling out like it has been.
Yep. Yep.
On your screen in front of you in the top left corner is our. Oh, you got it, man. It's all you.
You got it. No, you got it.
On your screen in the top left corner is the Discord link to join National eSTOL. Scan that on your phone. Take a look at it. It takes you right to our Discord. You can join our eSTOL league. Whether you want to compete, whether you just want to come practice with us, have fun, join the community, entirely up to you. I'm not meaning to call out anybody, but I have to call out one person. Bearded Aviator, you're in the chat. You said you need to come compete with us. So scan the QR code, come join the Discord, come do training, come talk to us, hang out. Whether you want to compete, you know, whatever, but like, come hang out. Scan the QR code, top left corner.
Yeah. I mean, you don't know fun until you hop into the voice chat with our pilots, and I did it right before the competition started, and we just had a blast in there. So for your unlimited class for Music City eSTOL presented by National Stol, we've got first place Wes Campbell, combined total 24 feet, ridiculous. Second place Sub B, who is out of the competition. Had a wingtip strike, but that's okay. He's second place, 29 feet. Third place, Norcali J, combined total 35 feet. Fourth place, Luke Carrier in the Nose Wheel Cub, combined total of 81 feet. And Bubbles with a combined total of 99 feet to round out the class in fifth place.
That was pretty cool. That was impressive.
Yeah.
But don't go
This
anywhere.
was great.
We have more coming up.
Oh, yeah.
We have one more class coming up after this, a spec class, which, Cam, is my favorite airplane again. It's the Beaver. And before we get to that spec class, we have an interview, a very special interview, from one of our touring pilots, Brown Dog 942. He's with Cat Blue Flame in the pits. Once Cat finds him in the pits here, we'll be going straight to that.
Can you hear me?
Hey, Cat, you want to take it away?
Absolutely. Hi there. Joining us again from the pits this time, we have Brown Dog. Now, Brown Dog, you've been with us for a little while. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, and what got you started in flight sim to begin with?
Oh man, that's a long journey. So I've been messing around with flight sim since the 98 days, I guess. Didn't really take it seriously, I guess, until late COVID in 2020, and started flying with Callie on stream. Had never really done any bush flying, short takeoff and landing kind of stuff. And he was taking off and landing on sandbars on stream, and it looked like a crazy amount of fun. So I got in stream with him and was absolutely bombing landings. I mean, I was landing in the water, I was crashing, nosing over, and a huge shout out to Callie for teaching me how to do short takeoffs and landings on sandbars. And then, of course, that led to him introducing me to eSTOL, and got me trained up. When the training came around, flew most of last year, most of last season. I think I missed 2 before I came in, and then the rest is history. It's been a wild ride, a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, like last season, you and Baracus, or Mark Hawkins, as some people know him, you two had a bit of a head-to-head in the Wilgers.
Yep.
This year, it feels like you've really got to know that plane. can you let us know like some of the like what is it? How did it click with you? What happened? Like you went from being as good as everybody else to I would say the best Wilga pilot that I've seen so far.
Oh well, thank you. That's quite the compliment because we have in touring class we have some amazing pilots, all of them,
Really?
everybody in the class, and even that guy that flies that mall. He's some stiff competition. Uh, the Wilga is just a special plane in the sim and outside of the sim. I started flying the Wilga early last year, I guess, and just fell in love with it. It's so well done. It's so well modeled. Uh, the flight characteristics of it are a lot of fun, and it takes a lot of time to really to dial into that plane. So it's you
Yep.
can't just. I mean, you can get in it and start making short takeoffs and landings. I mean, it's not terribly difficult to fly, but to really dial it in, it takes a lot of time. There's a lot of nuance to that plane that you got to learn, and I love that about it. I'm a big fan. Anytime there's a process involved, I dig that. I geek out on that, and that plane is certainly in that category. Um, so it's the only thing I could say if somebody is interested in getting in the Wilga specifically is just practice. Spend a lot of time in that plane, try things. Even if it sounds like something that's not going to work or it feels wrong, try it anyway.
Yep.
You might come up with
Yeah.
something. And that's kind of what I did. All last season, trying new things. This season, trying new things. And this season in particular, where differing from last season, I was kind of using a static trim number, and it was working, so I
Right.
didn't mess with it. And this season, I've been a bit more dynamic on the trim, and it seems to have paid off. I love that plane. Every time I fly it, I learn something new about it, and
Yep.
so yeah, it's a process, that plane.
I mean, that's the mark of a good plane in a simulator. But like you say, every time you fly it, you learn something new. And I think recently watching your, I think during a training session, I called it when you cock your leg, when you take off and you take off with a
Yep.
bit of roll.
Yep.
Yeah, that's very exciting to watch. So I really enjoy watching those takeoffs. Talk just going back a little bit. You were talking a lot about learning and training and things like that. You're also a trainer for National eSTOL. How's
Yep.
that been for you? Could you explain that process for the guys at home and that sort of thing?
Sure. That's been a real rewarding process, honestly. Training people to fly with us in eSTOL, meeting new people, and it's not a hard process. So the training that we do is more centered around the rules and the learning the pattern and how how the taxi goes and everything like that. It's not so much how to fly your plane, but how to compete in the series and put on a good show for everybody.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Now that's not to say that if somebody has questions about how to fly a particular plane, sure, we'll help them and coach them. But it's been a lot of fun. We've got a lot of good trainers, and I think that shows with the production that we put on and the show that we put on for everybody. Everybody does an awesome job. So that's a real nod to not just myself, but all the trainers that we have for eSTOL. They do a really good job.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, if anybody wants to join National Stole, nationalstole.com/chat, or there was even a QR code at some point. There we go. There we go. But so all I've really got left to say, Brown Dog, is thank you for coming and thank you for chatting. And I'll throw it
Yeah.
back to Cam and Tom. And
Let me,
yeah, let's
if I
watch
could
these
say one thing real
beavers.
quick. If I could say
Yeah,
one
go
thing
ahead.
real quick before we jump back, I don't mean to extend the broadcast here, but I had the pleasure of volunteering with the IRL Stole this past weekend in Music City, where we're at today in the simulator. And I would encourage anybody, if they have a national stole competition that's anywhere close to them, please come out
Yeah.
and volunteer. That was an absolute blast. I got to meet a bunch of pilots. I got to meet all the crew, Tom, Cam, Brian, everybody that's in production. Just a great bunch of guys, super nice. And it was, I can't even tell you how much fun it was. And then getting to see what we have done in the simulator for so long in real life and see those guys do it for real was just incredible. And I'm looking forward to attending many more of those events in the future, Lord willing. So I just encourage anybody that has the opportunity to volunteer, please do so.
I think you said you'll be in Texas. Is that right?
I will. I'll be in Texas for Lone Star RL. Yep.
I'll keep-
Hopefully on a camera,
keep an
just
eye
like
out
I
for
was
ya.
in Music City.
I'm sure Tom will get you on that camera.
Yeah.
Oh,
All right. That was it. Thanks so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. It's been an absolute pleasure. I think we'll throw it back to Tom and Cam. And yeah, let's watch some beavers.
Dog. Yeah, it was a pleasure meeting you last weekend. I don't know if you saw that Music City Stole patch in the background on Brown Dog's wall, but yeah, come on out and get you a patch because that mess is cool. Thanks, Tom, for those patches. I know I've got one from every single one of the competitions that we've been to this year, and it's been a pleasure to put them on my bags. But like Kat said, we are in the spec class coming up. We're going to have the Beavers. If you're not familiar with a de Havilland Beaver, it is a aircraft crewed by 1 to 2 people. Capacity is 6 passengers, 2,100 pounds useful load. It's got a radial engine in front of it. It's got a Pratt& Whitney R985 Wasp Junior. Of course, it's a 9-cylinder radial engine, 450 horsepower on that aircraft. So we're definitely going to see some exciting performance here in the spec class. We've got our competitors listed up right now. The lineup: number 86 LBR Gaming from Arkansas, number 222 NorCali J from Eureka, California, 39, excuse me, Cedric P from Lubeck, Germany, and number 28 MP Troll from Australia, playing on the Xbox for the spec class. So Tom, um, you said that this is your favorite airplane? Is that what you said?
I think the Beaver is my favorite. It's just such a cool airplane. Now, I will say that favorite single maybe. Like, there's also the Otter, right?
Okay.
The Twin Otter is amazing.
Yeah.
And the Twin Otter is such a great STOL airplane, anyways, and carries a ton of stuff. But I think the Beaver as a single engine classic airplane and it's also massive. It's huge. You've seen these guys before. They were in their other classes before. Now they're in the spec class. Spec class is meant to be the same airplane. It's meant to be everyone's flying the same airplane, so it's skill against skill against skill, pilot to pilot. And no, it's not anything with different types of variations of that. So that's why we did a spec class this year. It's something different, but we have a really exciting show for you today. And then, of course, the wind. The wind's still there, right? It was 14 to 19 knots before. I think it's still about 14. Actually, it's 8 to 20 knots now. So a lot of those pilots are going to see varying wind conditions, and we're going to see some. You make it 8 knots, you make it 20 knots, and 20 knots is still significant in a Beaver. But up first, number 86, LBR Gaming, Little Black Rain Cloud Gaming, and it was the Havilland Beaver. That's a cool paint scheme.
Yeah, that is really cool. Kind of more modern type of paint scheme that you'll see with the swoop-de-doos. I know I've had probably been quoted on air for saying I'm not a fan of swoop-de-doos, but that's a that's a good job for some swoop-de-doos on the side of an airplane for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that one a lot. Up next, in his de Havilland Beaver, this is NorCali J flying the on-air paint scheme, National STOL Lines. Number 222 from Eureka, California. This is NorCali J.
Yeah, that National Stole Lines livery is looking quite sharp. Love that black cowling. I don't know what it is. It's just doing it for me. Just kind
I
of
think it's the
like
contrast.
yeah, it's like that exclamation point at the end of the sentence.
Absolutely. Victor in the chat saying he wants to come out to our competitions. He's a little further away in Poland, but he wants to be there. Here's Cedric
We
P.
need to have one in Poland.
Cedric's back in the same Beaver he flew before, number 39. Flying his Brondo-inspired paint scheme. Brondo,
Is
of
that
course,
the
from
same-
the movie.
Is that the same?
Well, it is
livery?
different, isn't it?
It seems
It's same
like
colors.
It seems, yeah, but chrome, like the polish.
Yeah,
instead of
polished
a brown
aluminum,
or
yep.
yeah.
So this is
I
different.
was-
Still Brondo, but it's different.
It is definitely. I'm digging it. I'm definitely digging it. Any chrome, I'm digging, or any polished aluminum. Excuse me, I'm digging.
As long as I'm not doing it. Also, most pilots here, have a location on the airplane where they have the event stickers on the airplane. So the more events they do, they add them to the different liveries and have, say, 8 or 9 stickers per event or per
Yeah,
season.
I want to say that was pioneered by Cat Blue Flame. I want to say that she
Sure was.
had all the stickers on the side of her aircraft, and yeah, it's super cool.
And here,
Got the Xbox.
Troll. Yep. On the Xbox, right now, MP Troll from Australia, flying his de Havilland Beaver. One downside of Xbox users is they can't do custom liveries like we can on PC. So they don't get the added horsepower of adding a bongo cat to their airplane. However, they do get some still cool liveries that are out there in the marketplace. So my producer telling me
race
they
control
actually did a
telling us that
livery for
they
him
did.
as well. Oh, sorry.
Yep. Good. And looks like I don't know where
Saying,
Control is actually at in Australia, but I mean he's putting in the work at 7:23 a.m. if he's in Canberra, or 8:23 if he's in Kingston, or it just keeps going down from there. He could be on. Yeah.
Here's the green flag.
Verde flag. Get started in just a moment. And LBR is on the
LBR
go.
Gaming on the takeoff roll. I apologize, Cam. I don't mean to step on you. I think I'm lagging a couple seconds here, so I'm just trying to catch up here.
Yeah, no worries at all. I think you're a couple seconds behind me, so it's absolutely all good.
Let me try to refresh that.
Three-point takeoff.
That's solid. LBR with a takeoff 140 feet.
Okay.
See what NorCali does. 181 feet from NorCali. Here's Cedric. Cedric, of course, created the eSTOL tool for us so we can use it for scoring. So every score we get is automated through his tool, which pilots can use for practice at home. And Patrol now on the go. He's airborne. About 100, I'd say 180 for MP Troll or so.
Looking at some pretty solid numbers. LBR Gaming with 140, NorCali J 181, and Cedric P 183. Ian Patrol we'll get in just a moment since he's playing on Xbox. 223.
223 from MP Patrol. Nice. I mean, this is a big airplane. I forget what they weigh. I'll have to look it up what they weigh on the curb weight.
Oh yeah, it is gross weight 5,100 pounds.
And when they're empty, they're 3,000 pounds. That's a big vehicle.
Yeah.
And they're getting off at 180 feet.
Yeah, so I mean, like, so in the IRL competitions, when Chip Ferguson is competing with us, I mean, he has the ability to bring his whole family and the kitchen sink in that aircraft. I mean, I can't think of what I would load that airplane with that would make it go over gross, but I mean, for camping, or at least, like, yeah, it's just an amazing airplane, and it sounds so good. Even in the game, it sounds so good.
Over the line for LBR Gaming, that's gonna be a good one. But he did take up a little bit longer landing distance there.
Yeah, it came in just a little hot. I know it's a big airplane, but it looked like it was hot for that airplane, and it had not necessarily a bounce, but there was a little extra momentum on that 3-point landing that he had there.
220-foot landing distance over the line, about 40 feet. Took about 180 to stop. That's gonna be close to the line from North Cali.
Real close.
You also don't have a great view out of this airplane. You know, when you're nose high like that, the Calian's huge. You know, it's not easy to see where the line is. So, if we see some scratches here, wouldn't be surprised.
All right, we got 5 feet over from Cali. So he's 5 feet from the line on touchdown, 240-foot landing.
Very graceful from Cedric there.
Yeah.
As he rolls out. That's what I think you're right, Cam. I think the first first landing from LBR was a little hot compared to that to Cedric's there. You know, Cedric was a little bit more controlled, slowed down a little bit. We do have the gust factor, right? The gust factor of 20 knots.
Oh,
so
man.
if someone gets a gust, it could really push him back and slow him down.
Yeah, the gusting is pretty much a cruel beast. I mean, you get gust, you're prepared for it, and then the wind just drops from underneath you. You got a left wing that drops down first, or a right wing, whatever. You know, it's not advantageous for our pilots whatsoever.
Here comes MB Troll.
Oh,
Short of the line on our eyes. I think they'll rule that as a scratch. But it's still good when you scratch to get a stop in, because you kind of get a feel for the airplane.
Yeah.
The first round of scratch from MP Troll, but that's all right. We'll get on this board next time here. So far in this class, very close. LBR 360 feet, Cedric 364, Norcali 421, and unfortunately MP Troll with a scratch, so he's on the board yet. Here is LBR, current leader.
Arguably the sharpest paint scheme out there for the Beavers. I just don't know what to say about that.
It's like a modern Bonanza paint scheme on a Beaver.
Yeah.
Like, I could rock that on my Comanche, and it would look good. It would look like classic, but also look very, very modern. I think most airplanes can rock that.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have to agree. I kind of want to see a Badlands Traveler and something like that.
You know what couldn't rock that is like a old World War II airplane, or like Skyraider.
Yeah.
It's like the black smoke lines. Here's LBR on takeoff.
Oh man, or C5.
Yep. I'm getting Cam going on airplanes, on military airplanes.
Yep, nope.
LBR's off in about 130 feet, so it'll be his best takeoff so far. By about 10 feet. North Cali J. Airborne.
Interesting
Solid.
technique. Bringing up the tail a couple of times.
I'm going to paraphrase Victor from the chat. Those beautiful beavers rock my world. Cedric P on the roll. And the green beaver. And B-Troll. First time out was a scratch. Hoping to redeem himself here. Had a 220-foot takeoff the first time. That's about the same the second time. We'll see how he does there. ...252 feet from MB Troll.
I just can't get over the audio for this. Like it's such a good model in that departure leg where they're just flying off into the distance. Like it just has that classic sound of round.
Yep. Base to final now. There's us. Not really us. That's Austin and Ryan sitting in the trailer.
Yep.
Austin Bursix TV, of course, and Ryan Dombrowski. Good thing they were in the trailer a few months ago, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, now we need to have the model of the truck with the kill marking on it.
We can. I'm sure we can do that.
Sure.
Here's LBR Gaming. If you're not familiar, we actually put a kill mark on the side of the truck that we, on the new truck we got. The model that the last truck didn't make it.
Yeah. Got that nice U.S. Air
LBR's
Force green star on it.
oscillating a little bit. I think is a scratch. We'll see in a second what the score says. He oscillated last bit there, and he put some power in. I think it was too much than what he was expecting there. Was a scratch by LBR by about 14 feet.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was if he had a little speed, pulled back on the stick for the flare, kind of ballooned up from that.
Yep.
Not very sure, but I'm going to assume that it was from that.
Here's North Cali.
Oh.
Also a scratch and a wing strike there on the right wing. On our eyes. And now, I'm not really sure they're going to count that as a wing scratch because on the other angle we have, it didn't show it. So I would hope he can still compete, but we'll find out here in a minute.
Definitely a healthy scratch, though.
Yes. Can't avoid that. Here's Cedric P. Cedric, a huge fan of the movie Idiocracy. That was smooth.
Oh, yeah, very smooth. Crabbing into the wind, MP Troll. Taking that nice low approach.
You know, and And maybe you're inspired to come play with your beaver out here in Music City. You can grab a beaver from the from Flight Simulator and grab the scenery from the store and come fly your beaver around the pattern. Give it a shot. And be over the line about 5-10 feet or so. Gets it stopped. Gets it stopped. Gets it stopped. Maybe. There he is. 180 feet or so on the landing.
Oh yeah. Roll that beautiful beaver footage.
$180 184-foot landing for MP Troll. He's on the board now. Final lap of Music City Stole. Final lap for the Beavers.
Yeah, even that bird on the tail is just, it's a modern classic. It's just that nice finishing touch.
Race control
like something
advising
that
the
should be-
NorCali was not a wing strike,
Okay.
so he's good to continue. There's your tail for you.
Blackbird. Yeah. Can't tell if it's a crow or a raven, but it's cool.
It's a blackbird.
Yeah, or yeah, could be a blackbird. Just a regular cowbird.
Good takeoff from LBR. Doing about 127 feet. That'll be his shortest. He has to catch up to Cedric P here. NorCali trying to also catch Cedric P. NorCali needs to shorten this takeoff distance. He needs about 120, 130 feet. Longer again, but it's still a good one.
Yeah.
Here comes Cedric P, our current leader, for his final time around. Just smooth off the ground. NorCali got off his beaver to 166 feet, which is amazing. Cedric bested him at 132 feet. Slightly better. Cedric's best takeoff so far. Here's MB Troll. That's a good one for MB Troll. That's what he needed. Probably 180 feet, I'm guessing, before I see the score from the judges.
Great
168 feet
camera
from
view.
MB Troll. That's exactly what MP Troll needed to be competitive there. So he could jump a couple places here on the landing if he sticks to landing. On your screen, top left corner, the Discord chat. Scan it with your phone, your camera, whatever you got, and join our Discord. Come chat with us. Come join eSTOL. Come talk about Stol. Whatever you want to do.
Please come hang out.
Whether you like nose wheel, tail wheel, we don't care. It's all good. We just hit our 800th person in the Discord the other day. That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive. Ooh, LBR.
Comes
putting in
LBR
that
gaming.
work.
That's a cool camera angle. Oh, that won't help him.
Oh no!
It looked like it was going to be exactly what he needed, and then he hit the brakes a little bit too hard. be a really expensive teardown for him, but
Yeah.
he is in second place. That score will not count for him.
Looks like we got to go around from NorCali J. So, folks,
clear
this
the
is
LBR.
why. Yeah, most definitely. This is why it's not necessarily important, but it's good to come out to the in real life competitions, because you can talk to the pilots and get some of their techniques and figure out what you can do in game. Like, there's people like Brad Crawford who like teeter on the edge of prop strikes. In fact, I think he technically had one this past weekend, but the ground was soft and it didn't constitute a teardown for him. But like, you can learn a lot of these techniques that the real pilots are using in real life and apply them to the video game, and they're going to work, as we've seen with Brown Dog.
Here's
Excellent
Cedric P.
landing.
Fantastic landing by him. This is exactly what he needed to keep his first place. See how he does here. And just a shout out to Louis Moncada in the chat, who played the gang member Salamanca on Breaking Bad. That's pretty cool. Sorry to dox you like that, buddy, but
What? Oh, dude, that's cool.
if you're just joining us, this is the final lap, final heat of eSTOL from Music City. We'll be at Lone Star Stol in Texas in 2 weeks for the final Stol competition, followed by a week later with the Lone Star eSTOL competition. NorCali J, here we go. Can he jump a few places? Also gonna be close. Buddy Holt, nope.
Oh no! Oh man!
You guys are going for it, man. They want to get the short distances, so they're locking the brakes up.
Totally want it.
That run for NorCali will not count. Best he can do is third place. Sorry, that was MP Troll. That's my fault. Here's our buddy, NorCali, with a very smooth landing. You know that, Cam, I wonder, and that was an amazing run by these guys in the Beaver. Like I said, it's all better than I could do, right? But I wonder if they did it 10 times, right? We did it 3. What if they do 10 times? If the scores keep going down and down and down, you know, at some point, because it's just more practice, right? You start getting a feel for the airplane. But obviously, you know, we're limited in time, so we can't do 10 runs or 15 runs, but we can do a couple. And I thought that was incredible. You see pilot versus pilot skill, and who's more experienced in the airplane. And then, of course, who's used to it. And I think Cedric P, from his experience in the in the touring class, flying the Beaver Air, I think really helped him practice and get the skill he needed to excel in the Beaver in this class.
Yeah, I feel like he had a little bit of an advantage choosing that in our first round, but I tend to agree. I think if we had like 10 runs, we'd see some shakeups happening. See a little bit more conservative runs at the very, very beginning, probably the first 2 or 3, and then just like cutthroat action from 7 to 10. So
that wraps our spec class. Number 1, first place, Cedric P, 244-foot total score. What's interesting is that his best landing was 112 feet. And that's just absolutely incredible. I mean, that shows you the skill to manage airspeed and directional control. Of course, we have a nice headwind, but even then, that's almost like 182 numbers or 172 numbers. Behind him, LBR Gaming in his de Havilland Beaver, 360 feet, and then NorCali J, 421 feet, and MB Troll at 436 feet. really close race between third and fourth place. But overall, I mean, he was very close from the start, beginning to the end, anyways.
Man, that was a tight race. Just can't get over those short landings in the Beaver for sure. I mean, those are, like you said, 182. Shoot, 360 is probably what I'm really expecting myself to do in the champ. Like right now, without any practice, just around the 300-foot mark, for sure. So I mean, yeah, anything under that is just amazing for that aircraft.
That was an incredible event by everybody from Touring Unlimited, backcountry in the spec class. I'm gonna throw it out there, and I'm sure that my producer is gonna get mad at me for it, but let's hear you in the chat. What do you want to see for spec class next year? Put it in our Discord, put it in our YouTube chat. Tell us what you want to see next year for spec class. Let's get some of these airplanes out there so we can put people head to head in their airplanes. I know we have one vote at least for a helicopter, but I'm not gonna let them do that. That said, Cam, do you want to take us away and tease a little bit about Lone Star STOL?
Yeah, so make sure that you join us here in actually it's 3 weeks from now. We've got Lone Star STOL coming up. That is the culmination, the end of the season for National STOL and National eSTOL. So we've got that coming up. Make sure to join us then. Make sure to join us for the actual real competition, so the in real life competition at Sulphur Springs in a couple of weeks. So not next weekend, but the weekend after that. It's going to be the in real life competition. Join us on YouTube for that. You'll see me and Ryan once again on the horn doing the thing, and then the weekend after that, it'll be us, eSTOL, in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Here again, doing the thing at the end of the season, just to get geared up for the next season of eSTOL. So hopefully you're excited for that. Yep. Excited to see Kat. Excited to see everyone involved, and we're going to be here for you, and we're going to continue to do this for y'all. So show up, show out, come out and perform, and we'll see you then.
That was an excellently said, Cam. And the one thing we have surprise is the final event, right? The championship event, November 7th, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, should be November 7th. If my math is
it'll be
not
Johnson's
working
Farm, going back to the very we started with. So that would be cool.
Yeah.
And it'll be cool to see the evolution of eSTOL from over a year and a half, 2 years ago. I think we actually started, I think it was October 23. Was the first Johnson's Farm. I'll double check that, but we're going back to Johnson's Farm to our roots, try some new stuff there, and really kind of show it off.
Yeah,
and I'm hoping that in the next few months we'll see some progress from Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 with some model management issues we're trying to resolve, and we can hopefully move to that by next season. But it all depends on what they get done too. So a lot of stuff in the works for us throughout the next couple months, and as we finish the season from 2025.
Yeah, so Johnson's Creek, eSTOL. Join us. Ask us questions. Come out to the real events.
Yeah.
Please come volunteer. Even for eSTOL, if you have any ability to navigate and use one of the drone cameras, like please just throw your name in the hat. We'd love to have you, and absolutely come and compete, because that is your foot in the door to aviation, whether it's with eSTOL or whether it's starting your actual career as a pilot, flying actual aircraft and putting it to good use, like putting these skills to good use for your flight training. But we'd love to have you, and man, I'm very excited to be here. I want to say thanks to you, Tom, for being the co-host today in place of Austin Parker, Burst 6 TV. Thanks for Kat Blue Flame being our in the field reporter. Thank you so much for that. And thanks for everyone in the chat. Oh yeah, please, always. Thanks to Anov for all the models that he does for the digital twins for our actual venues. But especially thanks to all the pilots and to the viewers. We love having you, and can't wait to continue this for finals and into the future for eSTOL.
That is correct, Cam. And just a quick correction on my statement earlier. November 8th is the Lone Star. November 22nd is Johnson's Farm, which will be the eSTOL final for the year. And then we're going to continue keep it rolling next year. So thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you, Kat. As Cam said, awesome work, everybody. I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Signing off. We'll see you later.